8 minutes to post on a marvelous Monday here at Grand River Raceway. You know what time that is? It's early pick five time, where Gary and I will map out our suggested wagers for the early pick five with that guaranteed pool of $5,000, that low takeout of 15%. And there's my ticket, inexpensive tonight for my early pick five ticket. I kind of feel a little bit strongly about some players in this sequence. And starting off right here in the opening dash with the three, Anook Shook Sally, who has won two in a row at Clinton since moving to the barn of Jason Libby, has done so by a combined margin of more than 15 lengths, obviously facing some softer competition there. But the horse that she beat last time already came back to win yesterday, in fact. And both those efforts were very easy. I mean, under no urging at all, as the heaviest of faves. Surprised right now that she's 9-2. I think that price tumbles down significantly come post time, but she is my single here in the opening leg of this sequence. Race number two, the 2 and the 5, McWicked Move is the obvious choice, one that I loved last time out. Got up in the very last step after getting a little bit lucky, I thought, on the backside for the final time. And I Dream of Jeannie, the 5, is one I've thrown in on the ticket, just thinking that many will likely stray away from her off that break in her latest. And maybe if she does ever get the job done, she could knock a lot of tickets to the floor. So 2 and 5 for me in race number 2. The 4 and 7 in race 3. That's the 4, Boston Bound and Ideal Perception. They were the ones that finished 1-2 last week in this class. And it was in the top condition class, but it might as well have played out like a preferred. Now, Woodmere Roland Pop obviously had to wait for the preferred to come back. He was a winner, an easy winner, in fact, at 33-1 2 weeks ago. Maybe that week in between is why I've kind of strayed away from him. Plus, he does work from the pole position, which, I mean, it's not obviously any kind of advantage to him, I don't think. And last time he did win it from the trailing post. He's won two in a row, but I just sided with the ones that finished 1-2 in the top condition class last time. Ideal Perception, who is the current track record holder, in Boston Bound. It's a very deep race, but I thought I'd be okay just going with those two. Race number 4, the 7, Razin Jazz, is a horse I cannot go against after her latest effort. It was absolutely incredible. 152 flat, 26-3 at the start of that mile. She blew her competition away. She's right back in the same class. Yes, there's some new faces that she has to go up against, but I was just thinking that, you know what, she's one that I'm not willing to go against, and I'm just going to single her as a best bet on the card. Post 7 should not be a problem off her latest effort. And then in that money leg, 1, 2, 5, and 6. Very fond of the 5, Tangle Wild Road. Interesting. Now we get a driver change too to Anthony Hahn. That kind of makes it all that more intriguing. Was flying last time, but I am using a few others in there in a trotting event. The 1, Barzy, the 2, Amigo Mio, and the 6, Chapter 12. But just $3.20 for a 20-cent wager. Let's see what Gary Guy has in store for us.
Well, I too am not spending as much money this week or today on the pick five. And, first race, Inukshuk Sally, the top one, although I really wanted to add in Hot Tub Pop and Bubbly. I expect a bounce back performance, but Travis Henry, Jason Libby, man, Jason's rolling, and Inukshuk Sally, the lone one there. Second race, we're together with the 2 and 5 with the 4 out. Now that was my top pick. So race number 3. Well, I'm with you with the 4 and 7, but I added Woodmere Roland Pop just because, man, last week was really good. Woodmere Roland Pop on the inside. I just didn't want to leave that one off, and it'd be nice if I think that, of course, a lot of money will go to Ideal Perception and Boston Bound, and if Woodmere Roland Pop could somehow be a trip horse on the inside, might just be able to steal one. You got to get one in for a price somewhere. Race number 4, you know, I can go against Raz and Jazz, even though it's a small field now with the scratches of 1 and 3. I have Sea Glass on top and Raz and Jazz, so I have both the 6 and 7. And in race number 5, you know what, I wanted to go alone with Barzy, but I did add in Chapter 12 because it raced extremely well last race, so I only have those 2 in there where you have 4. But and you do love Tangle Wild Road. I'm not really with you there. Yes, last week was better, but I need to see more. But look, I spent $4.80 on my pick 5, Rob.
Yeah, so a couple of economical tickets from myself and Gary, and 8 chances for us both to land in the winner's circle tonight. There's Conley's ticket, and Conley agrees with Gary and I right off the bat. Now we see that money start to come for the 3, Anukshuk Sally. She's down to 8 to 5 now. I thought she'd be the favorite, maybe even odds on come post time, and the money's coming for her. Conley agrees, singled up on her. He's using Twin Bee Nancy's Wish, the one with the two big wicked move in race number 2. He's got the 1, 6, and 7, so in the same neighborhood there with Gary and I. He's got Ideal Perception. He's also using Woodbury Rail and Pop, but he's throwing in the 6 Hunter Hill on his ticket. 2, 6, and 7 in race number 4. So he's got my top pick as well as Gary's use with the 6 Sea Glass. He's singling the 1 Barzy in race 5. So a race that I thought was kind of contentious. He says, you know what? I'm just going to single the 1 Barzy. So we've got some different opinions, but similar ideas between all of us. $3.60 for Conley's ticket. We got a couple of minutes to map out your winning wagers for this early pick 5 sequence. Again, the pool is always guaranteed at $5,000. The takeout's a low 15%. And we'll come back in just a few moments after the post break, take a closer look at the opening dash.
The field for race number 1 is on the track for the post parade, and 1 is Hot Tub Poppin' Bubbly, Austin, sorry, for Ben Wallace and Wallace Standardbreds and Terry Krawick. Number 2 is Can't Catch Kenzie, Ryan DeRoche for Mike White, Nioski, and Tara Isman and Garrett Isman. Number 3 is Inukshuk Sally, Travis Henry for Jason Libby, and the owners at Laura Keeling and Jason shares in ownership. Number 4 is American Land, Scott Young for Catherine Flanagan and Winters Racing. Number 5 is Pink G, Todd Ratchford for Chris Hill. And number 6, Black to Reality, Jay Harris for Paul Reedon, Nora Parks, and James Grant. Field of 6, race number 1, first of 10 dashes on this beautiful Monday night here at the river. And let's get a look at this field. And, well, number 3, Inukshuk Sally. Last couple races, I would have thought would shake up the tote board a little bit more because dominant, but also, and look, Jason Lippy as well. So a lot of positives, but 2-1 on the board, second choice right now, Rob.
Yeah, a little bit surprised by that, Gary. I'm still thinking we see the money come for her because when you look at the probable payouts and the doubles, she is the favorite right now. 3-2 is the favorite double, but only marginally over 2 right now in the doubles. $8 versus $9. But Inukshuk Sally, she's been untouchable. Since going to the barn of Jason Libby, she's won by more than a combined margin of 15 lengths in her last 2. That's against male competition as well. at Clint. And Jim's son, who she dusted last time, came back to win yesterday and did so, I thought, impressively. So a decent form reference there. Yes, stepping up in class, but facing her own kind now, and I think there's lots left in the tank. I mean, 28-4 last quarter at Clinton last time. That's monstrous, and she was never asked in doing so. You retain Travis Henry and the sulky, and I'm happy to have her single, and I'll be betting her to win at 5-2 for sure. Probably anything north of 7-5, I'll make a win wager on her.
Number one, Hot Tub Poppin' Bubbly. I was thinking of taking this one on top, but even money I wouldn't because, look, the speed was good last time out, and look, Raz and Jazz was amazing, but still Hot Tub Poppin' Bubbly's got to show me a little more than 8th beat and 13 to be down at even money.
Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that Hot Top Pump and Bubbly to me, when I first looked at this race just on entries, I was kind of excited to get behind her because I liked her last time out. Obviously, first start back, you give her a pass on the performance. She still paced her mile in 54 and 3, and she was up against the horse I made my best bet tonight, Raz and Jazz, who was lights out in victory. So I wanted to go to her. I put her in the second spot, thinking she'd be a bit of a price, but even 8-5 is too short, right? Off the latest performance, I think she does raise her game tonight. She might have to really raise it to get the better of Inukshuk Sally, who just takes that big hit down to 6-5.
And let's get to number two, Can't Catch Kenzie. Well, 2 races ago, Can't Catch Kenzie did catch YS Flower number 10 by a nose, even though you doubted me there. I still haven't forgiven you for that. But last race, Trailer Post, just a fourth.
Yeah, but she had a reason to be fourth, right? I mean, she gets away seventh off the gate. She's overland for part of the mile, and again, Raz and Jazz blows them away. I mean, you can't really the fourth. She's not beaten that much for second and third. She was beaten by a wide margin for the victory, of course. I think that today we're going to see her get more forwardly placed. I didn't like her price early in the betting cycle. It's a lot better now at 5-1.
And American Land is your fourth one, but I also want you to touch on Black to Reality because winner last time out. So give me a little thought on both of those.
Yeah, Black to Reality stepping up in class, outermost post in the contest. That's why I kind of shied away from her here. 7-1's not a terrible number if you like her because I thought she raced really well last time. But I just think this is a tougher spot. American Land is a horse I've always kind of used on the bottom end of the exotics, and obviously she hasn't really landed there too much in her last couple of seasons of racing, but she's typically a big price in the board like she is right now, and she's one that can kind of plug in for a triple on the pylons. I think that she's kind of intriguing in here for a small piece of it anyways, and might be able to spice up the Trier Super.
I just think that the sleeper value is Black to Reality. And look, at last race did blast to the front from post position 5, and it was a win in 54 and 4. So there's a lot of positives. Now the form before it wasn't great, and only 2 wins in 21, but 6-1 might grab me. I did use Black to Reality third. Tell me just trip wise, does how can Black to Reality get off the gate? Field of 6, go to the front?
Well, 27 flat should give her a chance to get to the front, right? I mean, I would think that's got to be the game plan. If you're betting her and you want to know what the path to victory is, it's going forward off the switch, right? I don't see her winning from behind in here. I just think that there's a little bit of speed to the inside of her. Inukshuk Sally's looking to want to cut it out if she can, or come around. But maybe that sets up for a 2-hole trip. So that's probably her best chance.
Certainly is sitting at a value play at 7-1 now, as we're both on 3. Inukshuk Sally now has dropped to 6-5. It's Hot Tub Poppin' Bubbly and Can't Catch Kenzie on the inside. In the center, Inukshuk Sally and American Land. Into the outside, Pink G and Black to Reality. It's a field of 6 for race number 1. The field is in the backstretch, nearing the start. And the field for race number 1 is at the start of the rough, and American Land and Black to Reality. First couple to blast out, Pink G. Then it is Inukshuk Sally on the inside. Then Can't Catch Kenzie, Hot Tub Poppin' Bubbly, and Pink G is now trailing the field. American Land has landed the early lead. Inukshuk Sally is in the pocket, but is, going to continue on the outside. Inukshuk Sally and Travis Henry surging up on the outside against American Land, who is going to yield and race the pocket now as Inukshuk Salad, even money on the board. 26 and 2 opening quarter takes to the front now. American Land is second. Black to Reality is on the inside third in front of Hot Tub Pop and Bubbly. Then Cat Catch Kenzie and Pink G is trailing the field off a 26 and 2 opening quarter. They're in a line as they race up towards the half right now. And it is Inukshuk Sally who's got the lead for Travis Henry. And American Land has landed a good trip. Black to Reality's on the inside. Hot Tub Pop and Bubbly now is popped out and is working first up third. Black to Reality locked on the inside fourth, and Can't Catch Kenzie and Pink G. Halftime, a lively 55 and 4. Inukshuk Sally and Travis Henry gives this one a couple of taps right now to keep on. American Land is still right there tight in the pocket. Hot Tub Bubbly is about 2 lengths off the lead to the outside, racing third. Can't Catch Kenzie 3 wide, 4 wide is Pink G. And on the inside, Black to Reality will take the short way around the turn. Inukshuk Sally leads at a length and a half. 3/4, 125 and 2 from the backfield. Pink G is making up a lot of ground, and American Land is stepped out as the field turns for home. Inukshuk Sally, Pink G, out wide off stride goes American Land, and on the inside, Black to Reality is looking to dart up the passing lane way out wide. Pink G now has come on to grab the lead. Pink G up the inside, Black to Reality. It's going to be Pink G at 16 to 1 as some pick 5 tickets hit the ground, and then American Land in a place photo with Black to Reality and Hot Tub Pop and Bubbly 157 and 1. Pink G, Robert, the only horse in the first race that we didn't talk about.
Guess a little motivation for Pink G to go out there and get the job done, right? We kind of shunned her, and she proved us wrong. You know what? Coming from off the pace, I mean, the early fractions, right? 26 and 2, 55 and 4. I mean, Inukshuk Sally looked so good at Clinton. Yes, you're getting to a bigger service, but those are much different, obviously, intervals than what she's been used to. Kind of looked a little bit uncomfortable, too, leaving out in that 26 and 2. I thought that she might be in trouble when those splits were set, and it might set up for a closer. Well, it certainly did. Pink G just kind of coasted around them and won with relative ease there on the end of that mile, Gary.
Yeah, it was a nice price to kick off this first race, and you could start to see Pink G coming. I picked that one up around the final turn and thought, is Pink G going to win here? Well, the answer is yes. Also, came out of that race with Raz and Jazz, who did put up a 54 and 1 last time out.
Yeah, that's my horse that I made the best bet of the night, Raz and Jazz, and we talk about form references, and I guess if that was going to be my best bet of the night, I should have paid more attention to both Pink G and American Land because they're both coming out of that race, along with a couple others too. But they actually performed pretty well in that race, all things considered. And now they're dropping down in class, right? Which is obviously going to be something that helps them. So Pink G 16 to 1. I mean, this is a big knockout. I think she plays out way bigger than 16 to 1 in the pick 5. And this might set up for a real nice big payout or possibly a carryover.
Bravo was just getting information that the inquiry sign will go up at number 4, American Land. Possible break at the top of the stretch. Well, did make a break at the top of the stretch, so they are reviewing American Land. But no reviewing Pink G other than just to get a picture taken. Pink G back in front of us, a 3-year-old. All bets off Bay Filly, owned and trained by Chris Hill. Todd Ratchford, the winning driver, second win this year, second lifetime. Pink G scores at 16 to 1 in race number 1. Fans, the judges' ruling in the first race that number 4 American Land did interfere with 2 Can't Catch Kenzie. American Land is going to be placed back to 5th, and the new top 4 will be 5612. That is 5612 for American Land going off stride and impacting 2 Can't Catch Kenzie, and will be placed back to 5th. Can't Catch Kenzie moves up to 4th, so it is a 5612 top 4. The first race payouts 5 Pink G, 30, 480, 1190, and 440. Number 6 Black to Reality, 863, 41. Hot Tub Pop and Bubbly, 320. $2 exactor, 266.40. Dollar try, 541.15. And a 20-cent super, 576.71. Kaboom, shakalaka. First race order of finish from the top is a 4 place 3, 5 place 4, 6, 3 place 5, and 1 2. Once again, from the top down after the placing 3 4 6 5 1 2. Second dash next. 4 minutes post time. Scratched is for Ace 44 Rebel.
Bombs away winner in the opening dash, number 5, Pink G at 16 to 1. Likely put many of the pick 5 tickets to the floor. And if you're like yours truly and you're knocked out of that pick 5 sequence, well, it's time to jump in the early pick 4 starting right here in race number 2. Guaranteed pool $2,500, low takeout 15%. There's a ticket I've mapped out. $3.20 starting off with a 2 and 5 here in the opening dash. The 2 McWicked move will likely take most of the betting support, but I do like the 5 I Dream of Genie. Long way in the lead, 2 back before getting picked up by Swift Talker. Last time out, made that break in stride. I think that one that's worth having on the ticket might be able to cause another mild upset, anyways, in this sequence. Race number 3, the 4 and 7, that's Boston Bound and Ideal Perception. Thinking that Ideal Perception will likely take flight from that outermost post in the contest. Boston Bound was a good second last time. Happy to go with those two over the one Woodmere Roland Pop, who's missed a week between starts, but obviously we need to be wary of him winning 2 in a row, and he did have the track record before Ideal Perception lowered it last time out. Race number 4, just a 7, Raz and Jazz. I think we had a good form reference for that one in the opening dash. Nice performance from horses coming out of that race on June 17th, where she was a runaway winner on the engine. Thinking she comes right back to win again and double up. Race 5, the 1, 2, 5, and 6. I'm fond of the 5 Tanglewood Road in there, but it is Tangle Wild Road in there, but it is kind of a wide open trotting event. So 4 deep for me, 1, 2, 5, and 6. $3.20 is the cost of that wager. Conley maps out multi-leg tickets for us, and there's his 1, 2. So he's used the 1 Twin B Nancy's Wish coming back to the river from Mohawk Park, a decent third last time here. So he's got that one on with McWicked Move. So 2 deep. Then he's going 1, 6, and 7. And then the 2, 6, and 7 in race 4, finishing it off with a single of the 1 Barzy, who looks like one of the main players in race number 5. Disappointed last time as a favorite at Georgian Downs, but should be more than competitive against this group tonight. $3.60 for a 20-cent wager for Conley's pick 4 ticket. We got a couple of minutes to map out your winning wagers for this early pick 4 wager starting right here in race 2. $2,500 is the guaranteed pool, 15% is the low takeout. We'll come back in a few minutes, take a closer look at the upcoming dash.
Field for race number 2 on the track for the post parade. Number 1, Twin B Nancy's Wish. Ryan DeRoche for Sean Stacy and Mark and Natasha Stacy and Bertrand Gillespie. Number 2, McWicked Move. Jason Ride for Brent Dunbar. Number 3, Liquor is Quicker, Scooter Gimlet for James Dean. Four is scratch. 5, I Dream of Jeannie, J.B. Renault for Julie Walker and Leonard Gamble. And number 6 is All Star Caroline, Anthony Hunt for James Lee. Field of 5, let's get a look at this field for the second race. And, well, we'll start with number 2, McWicked Move. And off a move last time out to come on and get the win, 28 and 1 final quarter. So a good reason that you could use this one on top. The problem is 1 to 5, Rob.
Yeah, one to five's no fun. Ever is. And McWicked Move, last time ever, I was very fond of this horse. Got away in the 3 hole. They were stacked up 3 by 3 on the backside. The horse third over made a break in stride, and that is what allowed McWicked Move to get out and actually for her to get into contention and then get up by a neck at the wire. Now she was charging through the wire in 28 and 1, and she won by a neck. I thought she was, the best in the race going into it, and I thought she was coming out as well. So I love her chance to double up here. Obviously, 2 to 5 is not all that crash out, but she looks fantastic on the track.
Well, and I don't think the price is going to come up all that much. But look, at I Dream of Jeannie, we both agree if there's anyone that we're going to give a shot to take down McWicked Move, that seems the logical place to go.
It does. I mean, we'll talk about Twinbee Nancy's Wish in a second as well. But I Dream of Genie. The reason why I went there for second and used this one in the multis is that we both kind of liked her chances last time out from post 7 because she went a long way in the lead June 10th before getting caught by Swift Talker, who I think would look pretty good against this group. And then obviously making that miscue last time at just 3 to 1. There's likely going to be a chance to take back value. Now she's 5 to 2 right now, so she's a shade lower than that price. But I think she fits in well with this group, and she's fully capable of rebounding with a big effort. I think if she wins, she plays out much bigger than that in the multi-leg wagers, the pick 4 and the pick 5, and she was going to be my main player underneath and the one that I think maybe can upset the favorite McWicked Move.
Tell me about Twinbee Nancy's Wish. We get Ryan DeRoche with the change now instead of Sean Stacy, and one we did get to see here June the 10th.
Yeah, and obviously when we make our selections, right, that we're not privy to those changes yet, and obviously trainer Sean Stacy actually drove a horse to victory this season at Mohawk Park, lit up the tote board at over 70 to 1, but I think even he agreed, right? Giving the lines over to a regular catch driver is likely going to make a horse a little more appealing, and Twinbee Nancy's Wish obviously gets that tonight with Ryan DeRoche. Now last time out here, I watched that replay back a few times, and she actually finished up pretty strongly. Where the margin kind of increased on her a bit in the stretch, she was kind of coming on again in the final stride. So, I don't. For those that are backing her here, maybe on that driver switch or for other reasons, I don't mind that play because she kind of has a reason to step forward. And she also last time out, you can ignore that line. She got beat by a lot against a tougher group at Mohawk Park. So she's intriguing to me. She really is.
Well, and listen, we have a field of 5 here. So last race we didn't talk about one, and that's the one that was a winner. I want to know which one of the 2 that are left you're going to talk about and who we're leaving out.
We're not leaving anyone out. We're talking about them all. Let's go to Liquor is Quicker real quick with Scooter Gimblett aboard. Last time, I don't even remember, 2 hole trip, perfect drive, faded back to 4th. I mean, I think for a smaller share is where I would see, that one probably their ceiling, maybe bottom end of the try or super at best, but 22 to 1, that might help spice things up underneath.
And All Star Caroline, well, you do see that second panel of 27 and 4 in the qualifier.
Yeah, and you know what? I like it too when they had their qualifier over this surface. We see a lot of horses come here off qualifiers at Mohawk Park and maybe other venues. I like it when they've qualified here. The effort was a decent one, 27 and 4. Third panel, like you just mentioned, is obviously somewhat appealing. Problem for me is even though it's only a 5 horse field, still outermost post in the contest, first time racing in a parimutuel race. I would be more inclined to kind of watch that one this time out. But she's taken some support at 13 to 1. So obviously, there's some that like her out there, and she'd be one to keep an eye on for next time, anyways, for me.
Well, for the bottom of the ticket, you think that Liquor is quicker than All Star Caroline. We'll see if that unfolds. And it is Twinbee Nancy's Wish and McWicked Move on the inside. Liquor is quicker. is in the center. To the outside, a Dream of Jeannie and All Star Caroline. Field of five, race number two. It is post time. Giddy up. Field for the second race is nearing the start. There at the start of the rough, and Liquor is Quicker bellies up to the bar and grabs the early lead. McWicked Move on the outside, All Star Caroline. Now All Star Caroline is second. McWicked Move is third. Twinbee Nancy's Wish and I Dream of Jeannie. All Star Caroline and Anthony Hahn sending that one to the front as she takes the lead and grabs it from Liquor is Quicker and Scooter Gimlet Racing second and behind Anthony Hahn, and third is McWicked Move and Jason Rhyme. Then Twinbee Nancy's Wish and Ryan DeRoshan trailing the field. I Dream of Jeannie and JB Renault. It is All Star Caroline to the quarter in 28 and 4 as they work their way on towards us. Up and driving now. McWicked Move wants to make that move and clear to the front. McWicked Move is going to clear to the lead before the turn. All Star Caroline. Twinbee Nancy's Wish is up and driving. Liquor is Quicker shuffled back to fourth on the inside, and I Dream of Jeannie's on the outside. They work their way up towards the half off that 28 and 4 opening quarter. McWicked Move, the 2 to 5 favorite. Twinbee, Nancy's Wish on the outside is taken over second. Then it is All Star Caroline, third to the inside. I Dream of Jeannie and Liquor is Quicker is now trailing the field. McWicked Move, but it is Twinbee Nancy's Wish who's getting a little closer. Twinbee Nancy's Wish is on even terms now with McWicked Move, and still McWicked Move and Jason Ryan is sitting rather calm in the bike. And Twinbee Nancy's Wish on the outside now is dropping back a little bit. It is a length back, and now McWicked Move is going to drive on. A couple of taps there by Jason Ryan, and McWicked Move is moving away on the field now. All Star Caroline is taking the short way round the turn and has reclaimed second. Twinbee Nancy's Wish. Liquor is Quicker on the inside, and it is McWicked Move on down the stretch drive they come. All Star Caroline is going to hold on to second. Liquor is Quicker was quicker than Twinbee Nancy's Wish and finishes third. 156 and 2. McWicked Move and Jason Ryan, the favorite in the second race after a long shot in the first. And Rob, I loved how confident Jason Ryan looked, even though they were on even terms.
Yeah, no, it was utmost confidence. I mean, getting a little bit concerned when you see that one kind of poker nose in front almost at one point, but then just rebuff that challenge easily. And Jason Ryan's been doing great work here at the river. I mean, he's been racking up the victories. He's driving some nice power as well, right? McWicked Move picks up this drive tonight, and different kind of strategy this time out for this horse. Last time kind of sat on the inside and then came at them late. Early move to the lead this time out, and wow, was she ever good to go?
Yeah, and I guess Jason's sitting there thinking, I know I got lots of horse left, so we'll just let him work a little there on the outside, but no worries.
Yeah, no worries at all. You can see here just kind of tight lines to the wire. But we talked about a couple horses last, and I think they do finish second or third underneath. And if they do, this is really going to blow up the exotics, right? With a short price horse. I mean, All Star Caroline, and they finish second and third. All Star Caroline, great leaving move off the gates, got herself into position. And that's a good effort, right? First time out. I said I wanted to watch her. Well, I don't think you'll get 24 to 1 her next time. That's for sure.
And Liquor is Quicker. Well, flashes out early speed. Scooter Gimlet sends that one to the front and then took the short way around the turn. So an efficient move to follow All Star Caroline and lands third.
And I notice he gets them forwardly placed, typically speaking, and John Campbell once said good things happen when you leave. So love it that he gets them forward off the gate, and then when you sit a trip, good things can happen. A third there at 40 to 1. Like I said, that's going to really boost up these exotics.
It's a 2-6-3-1 top four coming back in front of us. The winner of the second race, number 2, McWicked Move, a 3-year-old McWicked Bay filly, owned by Dorothy Dunbar and Brent Dunbar. Brent Dunbar is the trainer. Jason Ryan, the winning drive. It's the second win for McWicked Move in just 4 career starts. And a mile of 156 and 2. The second race payouts to McWicked Move 290, 220, 210. 6 All Star Caroline 680, 330. 3 Liquors Quicker 410. $2 double 5 and 2 106.60. $2 exactor $38. Dollar try 88.10. Dollar superfecta 264.65. Second race order finished from the top. 4 1 3 scratch 5 2. That's 4 1 3 scratch 5 2 on the bottom. Field 4, race number 3. On parade 1 is Woodmere Rollin' Pop. Travis Henry for Gary Murner. The owner is Andrea Leon. Number 2 is Holly's Treasure. Colin Kelleher, Cassidy Schneider, and Colonel Schneider Jr. owns. Number 3 is Artie's Ideal. Chevy Filia for Robert Kyle Fellows in Hut Racing. 4 is Boston Bound. Jason Ryan for Marie Helene DuPont and CSL Stable. Number 5 is He's a Handyman. Brett McDonough for Mike Horner and Mark Horner. Number 6, Hunter Hill. Scott Culver, Scott West. And number 7 is Ideal Perception. Anthony Hahn for Anthony Beaton and Lisa LaFord. Field of 7, race number 3. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, right away, I'll ask you the question. 8-1 on Ideal Perception. Can you believe your eyes, Rob?
No, I can't actually, Gary. It's pretty, yeah, that's pretty outrageous. 8-1 on ideal perception. I mean, he is the current track record holder, 50-4 last week. Did so, I thought, very nicely too. I mean, he had to work hard to get to the lead. He didn't, get any breathers. I mean, he just kept on trucking along. We knew that he'd likely, take to this surface here because he loves it here in Elora. We know that. He was fantastic over the old surface so many times. And I think that he can double up here. It's going to be obviously a challenge because he's got the uttermost post in the contest. There is a lot of speed to the inside of him. But yeah, 8-1 is just wild in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you, even though I went to Boston Bound on top right now, if I got to take 2-1 on Boston Bound or 8-1 on Ideal Perception, I would stay with the 7. But Boston Bound is my top pick, and the fans are kind of with me.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though too, right? Because you do get like a significant post edge, only missed by a length and a half last time to this horse, and he'd been racing at Mohawk Park. I thought he'd been racing, okay, and some of those efforts there against some pretty solid groups. He looks fantastic on the track right now as well for connections that have been having all kinds of success together, and of course Jason Ryan's just been, lighting it up here at the river. So I get why he's taking the support, and I think that he be right there at the wire. I mean, last time they finished 1-2 in the top condition class. I've got them finishing 1-2 now in the preferred. Obviously, a tougher group pound for pound, but Boston Bound is one you've got to respect.
It makes sense. Imagine that, Rob. I make sense. Wow. Number 1, Whitmere Rollin' Pop. We both agree is one that you got to at least think of somewhere on the ticket. Huge effort last time out.
You do, yeah, and a barn that's been pretty hot as well. Back-to-back victories. One's in the bottom condition at Mohawk Park, which was a nice win off sitting an inside trip. Had to kind of win from a trip we didn't see many winners come out on top from in that preferred 2 on June 10th. One going away, 51-2 track record at the time. Obviously, the fractions were completely like they were insane up front, 26-1, 53-4. So that kind of aided the victory. I just wasn't sure what to do with him in this spot, Gary. And I said, I'm going to put him in the third spot. Didn't use him in my multi-leg wagers. I thought he might get over bet. I think he is right now at 8-5. He's missed a week between starts. But if he wins, would I be surprised? Absolutely not.
And then one of your favorite horses that you often love is sitting there offering you value. Artie's Ideal, 10-1 seems kind of enticing.
It is enticing because he had some serious excuses in some of those efforts, like 2 back and 3 back. He got kind of taken out of it by a breaker on May 20th, and then he got locked in the Bulldog Hanover, invitation, the preferred event at Western Fair, and last time out didn't really have much of a chance getting cemented at the combs as well. So I think he's one you can bet on here at 8-1. The horse too that I'll have to take my lumps if he wins. 5, He's a Handyman. Put him on top in the Horse Players Journal June 17th, and he's a horse I've always been very fond of. He should like it here on the 5/8 mile surface. He's getting back into regular rotation. I left him out of it tonight. He's taken money throughout, Gary, and you know what? A big time Robert off angle on that one.
I had him in for fourth and then changed my mind and included Artie's Ideal. Not because I don't like him, just because there's so many to like in here. Holly's Treasure's one you've loved in the past, and he's a handyman. You only have to go back 2 races ago, though, winning at the London in that preferred.
Yeah, and doing so in fine fashion. And he's one that's versatile. He can do it up front. I think tonight his best path to glory is sitting off the speed and hoping to go gangbusters on the engine. And you're right, Holly's Treasure, one I've always been fond of. That one's a nice price at 9-1. Hunter Hill getting no love in the Osborne or from us off 2 victories in a row. Like I said, deep field should be a great horse race.
Taking up their positions, Woodmere Roland Pop, Holly's Treasure on the inside. In the center, Artie's Ideal, Boston Bound, and he's a handyman. And to the outside, Hunter Hill and Ideal Perception. It's a field of 7. It is race number 3 on a glorious Monday night as we are gathered at the river and the horses are gathered in behind the gates. Field for the third race. Pacers are at the starts. And they're off, and stepping quickly off the gate is Artie's Ideal. Artie's Ideal times the gate well. Woodmere Roland Pop on the inside is rolling on through, and Boston Bound is now second as Woodmere Roland Pop is racing on the inside third. Boston Bound is bound for the front against Artie's Ideal. Woodmere Roland Pop is third. Then fourth is Holly's Treasure. Trailing 3, he's a handyman, Hunter Hill, and Ideal Perception is back trailing the field early in this one. Boston Bound dropped down to 6-5. Co-favorite with Woodmere Roland Pop, and now popping out. Woodmere Roland Pop is moving right now and wants to come up and try to grab the lead, and it is Woodmere Roland Pop who's going to clear to the front. Boston Bound is second. Artie's Ideal is third. Holly's Treasure is racing fourth off that 26-1 opening quarter. They head up towards the half, and then it is He's a Handyman. Hunter Hill and Ideal Perception trails the field still as they work their way to the half of a 26-1 opening quarter. Woodmere Roland Pop, half of Lively, 54-3. Boston Bound is in a good spot, racing second. Artie's Ideal. Now Holly's Treasure is going to work first over. He's a handyman. Ideal Perception scooting up the inside, and Hunter Hill is out 3 wide from the backfield. Woodmere Roland Pop. Boston Bound is keeping a watch on Woodmere Roland Pop and is within striking distance. Then it is Holly's Treasure. Hunter Hill to the outside, to the inside, Artie's Ideal. He's a handyman at Ideal Perception is still trailing 3/4, 123-2. Woodmere Roland Pop still has plenty of pop left and leads it by 2. Boston Bound has work to do, but now is closing ground. Woodmere Roland Pop, Boston Bound is coming on. Woodmere Roland Pop and Boston Bound and Artie's Ideal on the inside. Boston Bound trying to come to Woodmere Roland Pop. Woodmere Roland Pop is digging in. Woodmere Roland Pop maintained Pop right to the finish. Boston Bound and then Artie's Ideal. Ideal Perception closed to get fourth, 152-1. Woodmere Roland Pop dropped down to 6-5, and the fans were kind of right to love this one that much. Comes right back and wins 3 in a row, Robert.
Yeah, they were very right, Gary. I mean, Woodmere Roland Pop had his sights set on the engine tonight. I mean, driven like he was the best, and he was. I mean, Boston Bound gets a perfect tool trip behind him, every chance to beat him, and he couldn't do it. Obviously, Ideal Perception, that trip scenario is not going to work out for him. We know that. Obviously, maybe drawing a better post next time or in a better spot, we can go back to him because he had a little bit of pace in the end of his mile, and that's not his typical racing style. But Woodmere Roland Pop, good to go. That's 3 in a row now, and doing great things for trainer Gary Murner. It was the track record holder before Ideal Perception lowered the mark last time out. Doesn't get there this time, but still a big mile, 52-1, and razor sharp in victory.
Yeah, and also Boston Bound raced well, and I thought maybe at the top of the stretch might track down Woodmere Roland Pop. But the key was that Woodmere Roland Pop did not run out of pop, was really digging still well at the finish.
He was, and you look at their win record, and that might be what it is too, right? He's now 7 for 16 this year. When we roll and pop, Boston Bound is going to go to 0 for 9, but with 4 second place finishes. So that might have something to do with it as well. But take nothing away from the victory. I mean, he was a very strong winner, and proving that last time was no fluke at 33-1, coming right back and winning 2 weeks later in this preferred level at 6-5.
Well, we used the correct 4, but in wrong order. And Woodmere Roland Pop proved that he was the best. 3 wins in a row. Back in front of us, 7-year-old Roll With It Harry Bay gelding, owned by Andrea Leon of Maidstone. Gary Murner is the trainer. Travis Henry, the winning driver. 7th win this year for Woodmere Rollin' Pop. And Woodmere Rollin' Pop, 152 and 1. 31st win lifetime. The third race payouts won Woodmere Rollin' Pop 460, 230, 210. 4 Boston Bound 260, 210, and 3 Artie's Ideal 280. The $2 exactor 980. The dollar try 15.20. Dollar superfecta $50.30. Mile of 152 and 1. Woodmere Rollin' Pop for a third straight win. The third race order finish from the top down is 1632754. That's 1632754 on the bottom.
Over $400,000. Mick Wicked, the richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, and Hall of Fame inductee. Trixton, sire of six who have earned over $500,000, including O'Brien Award winner Evident Beauty. Also standing Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Better's Delight, and My MVP. For more information, winbackfarm.com.
Field 4, race number 4 is on the track for the post parade. 1 is scratched, and number 2 is just a Mickey moment. It's Brett McDonough for Richard Moreau and a numbered company from Guelph. Number 4 is JS Bet This Lady. Jay Harris for Roger Gebhardt and Carol Gebhardt. Number 5. Jewel's Diamond Eyes. Colin Kelly for Lori LePage and Rebecca Williamson. Number 6 is Sea Glass. Anthony Hahn for Luke Bland. Determination. And number 7, Raz and Jazz. Travis Henry for Ashley Lenvoy and Gino Toscani. Field of 5, race 4. The 1 and 3 are out. And even though we have a field of 5, we certainly have a difference of opinion on the selection page as well as the tote board. And, well, we're going to go to Raz and Jazz. Rob, your top pick, and certainly last time out, Raz and Jazz proved to be the best. Wasn't our pick in that race, either of us, but had post 1 and dominated.
Yeah, she sure did. I mean, she was a dominant winner from start to finish. 26-3, 55-2, 122-4. Gary, you think she's got to be getting tired off that. Well, she came home a little slower in 29-1, but she was still good to go. I mean, look, like she had lots left. Going to the wire, won by more than 5 lengths, and dropped significant time. Off of her lifetime mark. So I I couldn't go against her in here. I don't care that she moves out to the post 7 now, because pole position is not really all that big of an advantage. I know it is second right now in post position standings, but to me, post 7 and post 1 are kind of lateral in this situation. And we've seen some horses come out of that race and do pretty well here tonight, including our first race winner, Pink G. So I love Raz and Jazz here. And 9-5, I think, is a pretty appealing price in the tote board.
Yeah, with 2 scratches, leaving out a post position 5. And look, actually, post 5 has been the post position that's been able to blast off the gate and is the winningest post, or at least now is actually second to post 1. But Raz and Jazz, look, you said you couldn't go against her. I could. I went to Sea Glass, and I see also that Ken Middleton went to Sea Glass, and I see 6-5 on the board.
Yeah, taking a lot of support. Sea Glass, these types usually take a lot of money, right? Coming, from Mohawk Park and a determination horse, right, for Luke Blay. This horse is a $420,000 yearling purchase. Meant to be a good horse, and has shown some flashes of that too throughout her career so far. She's got 4 top 2 finishes and 6 tries. The efforts this year where she's kind of missed, she's kind of been at a big trip disadvantage or a post disadvantage, and she does fit in very nicely with this group. But at the same time, I thought Raz and Jazz is one that if she just comes back to her latest, they're not going to touch her in here. So those are the 2 taking all the play right now. Those are the 2 that I'd want to be involved with, but nothing too sexy about backing a 7-5 and a 9-5 in exacta.
Number 2, Just a Mickey Moment. I love to split the top 2 in the exactor. Just a Mickey Moment. Now, the last half in that last mile at Mohawk was solid, and it is one that's sent up by Richard Moreau. So don't fall asleep on this 3-year-old filly.
You don't want to. Second start, right, for that barn, and got away 7th off the gate, off time too, right? You're off more than 3 weeks going into that effort. Coming up from the Ron Burke barn, and Richard Moreau's had success with horses coming up from that direction. So I think that you're looking at one that has every right to take a big step forward here, and now gets to face pound for pound a softer group. So I think she'll make her way into the race. I mean, it's only a 5-horse field now, like you stated, and I think she'll make her way into contention at some point, and she can land on the ticket. I mean, if you like her and you like the angle, second start for top barn in the country, then 5-1's not a bad price at all.
And Jewel's Diamond Eyes was a very good 2-year-old, winning almost half of her starts. But look, and last race, that was a solid second, because sure, Raz and Jazz was long gone, but Jewel's Diamond Eyes battled hard.
She did, yeah. She worked hard on that effort and got beat by a wide margin, so I couldn't put her anywhere near the my top choice in here. But she's a horse still kind of figuring it out, right? At 3, as horses win their way up the class ladder, it gets tougher for them. Obviously, they're facing tougher competition, but she's kind of getting more acclimated to this level. And last effort was one that I think will show that she'll step forward going in the future.
And Rob, the money has now come for Raz and Jazz.
Yeah, it had to. It really did. I mean, I think she should be odds on in here off her latest. Seaglass might give her a test here, but as she comes back to that most recent effort, I think she'll be real tough to beat.
Taking up their positions, just a Mickey moment. Jazz bet this lady on the inside. In the center, Jules, Diamond Eyes, and to the outside, see Glass, Raz, and Jazz. It's a field of 5. It's the 4th race and a magnificent Monday here as we're gathered at the river. They're into the backstretch. Field for the 4th race. They're at the start, and they're off, and from the outside, Raz and Jazz is going to bolt out with just a Mickey moment. Then racing position 3rd is Sea Glass, and then we've got Jules Diamond Eyes and Jazz Bet This Lady on the inside. Raz and Jazz rolling to the lead, 3-5 of the board. Racing 2nd, just a Mickey moment. Sea Glass is still working on the outside. Can't find a seat, so is going to press on against Raz and Jazz. Raz and Jazz and Sea Glass on the outside as we see those two dueling. And now it is Sea Glass who's going to come on and clear to the front of a Raz and Jazz. We'll see what Raz and Jazz has in mind, whether to sit in the pocket. No, let's pop right back out and let's reclaim that lead. Raz and Jazz is going to come back around Sea Glass and will be on top. Then it is just a Mickey moment. It's racing position 3rd. Jazz Bet This Lady and Jules Diamond Eyes. Raz and Jazz 3-5 favorite off a 26-3 opening quarter, leads to the half in 55-1. And Sea Glass is in a good spot 2nd now. Just a Mickey moment is going to pop right now and quickly move up against Raz and Jazz. Racing, grabbing 4th. Jules Diamond Eyes is taken over 4th from Jazz Bet This Lady on the inside, and they head on towards 3/4, and it is Raz and Jazz who leads still, the 3-5 favorite. Just a Mickey moment on the outside. Raz and Jazz and Travis Henry. No urging just yet. Just a Mickey moment. Sea Glass on the inside is 3rd. Now some urging from Anthony Hahn to try to close the gap against Raz and Jazz, but Raz and Jazz is rolling well at the top of the stretch, and now Sea Glass has come on and reclaimed 2nd, but has a lot of work to do. Raz and Jazz and Sea Glass as they come on down the stretch drive. Raz and Jazz, Sea Glass, and then just a Mickey moment as they come to the finish. Raz and Jazz was too tough. Sea Glass 2nd. Jazz Bet This Lady picked up 3rd, and then 4th, just a Mickey moment. 153-3. Raz and Jazz did not need to go as quick this week, but it's still a W, Robert.
Yeah, no, you know what? Race kind of like I expect she would, because she made multiple moves, Gary. Blasted off the wings of the gate again this time. Post 5, yeah, I got to move it a couple spots for the scratches, but did so, one with relative ease. And I saw that in the comments from Cam Middleton said that, ran the race for life last time out. Well, she sure did, and she followed up on it nicely. So I think we're going to see this horse move on to do some pretty good things. And at the end of the day, I was looking at the exacta probables during the race, and $9 on Raz and Jazz and a Sea Glass is not that bad. I mean, it's a 5-horse field, and I thought that she was going to be very difficult to beat, and the Sea Glass was the clear one to finish 2nd, so not a bad exacta.
Yeah, we couldn't split the two favorites, and nor did I expect that they would. Those two did kind of stand out. I wanted to take a flyer with Sea Glass because I actually anticipated Sea Glass to be maybe in that range of 3-1, and did pop up a little bit to 5-2, but still. Yeah, Raz and Jazz proved that last week was no fluke.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And I think, like I said, I think she builds off that effort too. We saw some good form references tonight as well. Horses that she beat handily last time have come back to race well. That's something I always like to look at.
Yeah, it's kind of, what do you call that, a key race?
A key race, yeah, always.
Well, that field of 5 dominated by Raz and Jazz. 7-6-4-2 on the board. The top 4, mile of 53-3 for Raz and Jazz and Travis Henry. Coming back in front of us, the winner of the 4th race, number 7, Raz and Jazz, a 3-year-old Racing Hill Bay filly. owned by Gino Toscani, trained by Ashley Lenvoy. Travis Henry is the winning driver, second win this year, and it's the fourth win lifetime for Resin Jazz. The fourth race payouts: 7 Raz and Jazz, 350, 220, 230, 6 Sea Glass, 230, 284. Jazz bet this lady for $32 exactor, $9, dollar try, 28.50, dollar super, $61. Fourth race order of finish from the top is a scratch 4, scratch 3, 5, 2, 1. That's scratch 4, scratch 3, 5, 2, 1. Field 4, race number 5 is entering the track for the post parade. It's a field of 8, scratched as 8 major dance moves. The 5th race, the TD Agriculture Trot. 1 is Barzy. Scott Coulter for Steve Coulter. And Steve and Scott share in ownership. Number 2 is Amigo Mio. Todd Ratchford for Mary Ratchford and Wayne and Philip Toussaint. 4 is Fastnet Rock. Brett Madonna for Matt Dupuy and Lance Wells and Lyndon Wells. 3, Glory Dreams. Scott Young for Riley Simpson and Connor Wade. Number 5 is Tangled Wild Road. Anthony Hunt for Rick Ziron and Stacy Smith Robinson. Number 6 is Chapter 12, Austin Surrey for Joe Squires and Martin Kepfer. Number 7 is just coming out of the paddock now, and it's Sammy Filia, Lady Gaw for Denny Julien of Campbellville. And 9 is Missy's Magic Man, Jason Ryan for Ron Corbett. Field of 8, race number 5. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Rob, you're in love with Tangled Wild Road, and I didn't use that one on my top 4. Anthony Hahn with the drive. But, well, last race caught your attention.
Watch list, and one of those ones, too, Gary, where I'm not watching the horse. I'm just kind of watching the race. And when I'm watching the race kind of for other replays, I know who is that, go on track it, pull up who finished 4th. And there it is, Tangle Wild Road. And I love the way that he was moving on the end of his mile. Decent back half in a race that was dominated by the Lion King Oz. And I just thought that this looks like a better spot for him now. You get away from that rival, kind of a pound per pound softer group. And more importantly, is third start over this service. First start here, June 10th, went off as the favorite, 2-1. You got away out the gate, never really made a move forward, but came into that off a break in stride. So I think that progressing nicely now for trainer Rick Ziron. I love the fact that he puts Anthony Hahn down, who's been doing good things here at the River and typically does good things here at the River. 8-1 on the board. That's a hefty price right now on a horse that I'm very fond of.
The next horse that you're going to talk about is one Barzy. I love this horse, but the one thing I'm a little worried, Barzy really is very much a closer, but, Scotty Coulter, Steve Coulter, strong connections, and Barzy is one that I think overall in class compares extremely well here. I love 9-2.
He fits in very nicely with this group, and you're right, 9-2 is a decent price. I thought this field was one that was kind of evenly matched top to bottom, and we'd get a price on whoever we kind of like. And Tanglewood Road right now 10-1, wow. But Barzy down to 2-1. 5 victories out of 16 tries this year, hits the board with frequency. I think will make his presence felt probably in the middle stages. And if he can withstand the move that he's going to put forth, I think he can, land his way in the winner's circle. I figured he'd take support. I wanted to be on the side of a price when I think looks like a wide open event. 2-1, probably about the right number on him, and I think he should be right there at the wire.
Well, number 2, Amigo Mio, is one that was second to Willie Won't, who was really good last race, and now gets a better post position, does Amigo Mio.
Yeah, and I think that the margin is something people are going to read into in that effort. You could beat by more than 6 lengths, but the mile was 55-1. He was 56-2, and he's another one that's been kind of progressing nicely for their new connections, right? Mary Ratchford's had this horse for 2 starts, 4th and a 2nd. Now you get post 2, you slide down on the inside of the gate tonight, and Todd Ratchford's been doing good things here too. So I think Amigo Mio is likely going to be in the mix throughout, and one that can certainly make his presence felt when it matters most. 3-1's about the right price. Not getting tremendous value there, but one that can land on the ticket.
I went to Chapter 12 under Barzy. Look, last year, Chapter 12, just an outstanding 3-year-old campaign. Has been slow to come around this year, but that last race, maybe that big mile from post 8 to finish second, tips the hand that he's ready to roll.
Yeah, post 8 and touchdown in the lead. And I actually thought, finished that mile pretty nicely. And I remember making reference to that one, saying we might want to come back to this one. I guess for me, it came down to the fact that Tangle Wild Road was one that I it's kind of thought raced that much better, and one that has a lot more room for improvement. But yeah, Chapter 12. I mean, 7-1. You convinced me he's the value as well. I just wanted to be involved in one here that was over 5 or 6 to 1, and that's what we're getting on both those horses right now.
And your fifth one, Glory Dream, a lot of back class.
Lots of back class, and I mean, not impossible in here. Last time out was even a longer price, finished sixth. You get Scott Young aboard, and 8-1. I mean, is probably about a fair price. I think if you're betting this one, you got to hope the trip works out. Maybe a on cover trip, and then go at them in the wire.
Taking up their positions, Barzy, Amigo Mio, Glory Dream on the inside of the center, Fastnet Rock, and Tangled Wild Road. To the outside, Chapter 12 at Lady Gaga. The second tier, Missy's Magic Man. It's a field of 8. It's race number 5. They're into the backstretch, nearing the start. Field for the fifth race is at the start of the rough. And Chapter 12 is going to blast out now. Lady Gaga, then Amigo Mio. Barzy is racing fourth right now. Missy's Magic Man. Then it is back further on the outside to Tangled Wild Road, Glory Dream, Fastnet Rock. But Chapter 12 at 4-1 has the front. Lady Gaga, well, hit a sour note and went off stride. Amigo Mio now is going to inherit second, and Barzy will be third on the inside as Lady Gaga is still off stride and out of things as they come off the turn. Then racing position fourth is Missy's Magic Man, but it's Chapter 12 at the front. And Chapter 12 right now leads by about 5 or 6 lengths, and then Amigo Mio. And racing on the inside, Barzy third, Missy's Magic Man, Glory Dream, back for their Fastnet Rock, and a break in stride from Tangled Wild Road. But right now, Chapter 12 is kind of getting away and leads it by about 5 or 6 lengths. Amigo Mio is second. Barzy racing third. Still right now about 10 off the lead of a very sharp Chapter 12 off a half of 56-2. Missy's Magic Man fourth, and Glory Dream is fifth, and then Fastnet Rock. But right now, it's a one-horse story, and that one horse is Chapter 12. Amigo Mio is second. Barzy's a noted closer, but is not closing at all right now. And then Glory Dream, and on the inside, Missy's Magic Man and Fastnet Rock, Chapter 12. Amigo Mio is chipping away. 3/4, 125-2 off that half of 56-2. And Chapter 12 now gets some urging at the top of the stretch. And Amigo Mio now is coming alongside Chapter 12 and might have that one measured. It's Amigo Mio and Tot Ratchford on the outside. Chapter 12 on the inside, and Austin Surrey trundled on, but Amigo Mio on the outside has the late lead. Amigo Mio's going to win. Chapter 12 was second. Then Barzy is in a photo with Fastnet Rock, 156-1. Amigo Mio, after all the work was done by Chapter 12, Amigo Mio says, yeah, I'll take the win now, thank you.
Trip, Gary, and we kind of talked about this horse progressing nicely for trainer Mary Ratchford, and fourth first start, second last time out, now get a victory, and no shame in finishing second less than a Willie Irwoni. There's no Willie Irwonis in here, and was able to run down the pace setter Chapter 12. So comes out on top. Took a lot of support, right? It's down to 6-5 favoritism, but certainly deserving of the victory.
Yeah, and actually, we've got to keep an eye for Chapter 12 because we said last week might be a tip of the hand that he's ready to come around. He was great last year. I mean, he did all the work.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I always say, race too good to lose, right? I mean, you can see he's clearly the best of the rest. Just kind of met his match with Amigo Mio, but that's now back-to-back second place finishes and getting beat by solid performances. So I think Chapter 12 is one that now 0 for 16 on the year, but should have a victory in his future.
And a 56-2 half kind of set him up to be picked up.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the idea of just trying to get away from them, right? Bottom them out. There was several breakers in the field. Just kind of get some daylight, and he did that against everyone else. Just Amigo Vio was able to reel him in.
And unfortunately, your pick, made a break in stride.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even near the gate. Obviously, it was kind of giving some issues behind the gate, and then ended up jumping it off. So back to the drawing board with Tangle Wild Road.
It's a 2-6-1-4-9, top 5, and Back in front of us, number 2, Amigo Mio, a 6-year-old Amigo Hall Bay gelding, owned by Wade and Philip Toussignon of Cardinal, Ontario. Mary Ratchford's the trainer. Todd Ratchford, the winning driver. It's the first win this year. Ninth win lifetime for Amigo Mio, 156 and 1. And the fifth race, the TD Agriculture Trot. And it is also a note, thanks to TD Bank Agriculture Team for coming out this evening. The fifth race, pouch to Amigo Mio, 470 to 92.50. 6 chapter 12, 350, 320. 1 Barzy 230. $2 exact or 18.30. Dollar try 22.40. Dollar pick 3 26.10. Note the dollar pick 4 44.80. Dollar pick 5 994.20. Dollar high 5 405.45. The fifth race, order of finish from the tops at 3, 1, 6, 4, 8, place 7, 2, 7, place 8, scratch 5. Once again, top down after the placing, 3, 1, 6, 4, 7, 2, 8, scratch 5.
We're at the midway point of the card here on a marvelous Monday at Grand River Raceway. And you know what that means? It's time for the late pick five. And it's got a low ticket of 15%. And there's a ticket that I've mapped out for you this evening and kept both tickets relatively inexpensive tonight. Do have some singles in each of them. And right here, 5 and 7 opening leg. Thought about singling the 5 Big Nipper. Thought the effort last time was a good one, but Lady Hamish, I thought raced really well at this level. So 2 deep, 5 and 7, and then 1 and 5 in race 7. Really liking the chances of the 1 better deal in there. Kind of a value player, especially in the multi legs. Also using the 5 Italia Seals. You have to have that on your ticket after that 52 and 4 score at Mohawk Park. Race 8, singling up on the 4 Marvin Hagler Class Relief. Should be all he needs to get back to the winner's circle. Was victorious at this level 2 back. Love his chances tonight. 5, 6, and 7 in race number 9, keeping it towards the outside of the gate in that one. I thought Thrilling Times raced great last time, but does hook a couple of tough ones in there tonight. Muddy Leg, the finale, 4, 5, 6, and 7. PL Oliver is one that should enjoy maybe getting to that post 5, that winning his post. Might try to go forward off the gate tonight, but I think there's several chances in there. So 4, 5, 6, and 7 for yours truly in race 10. $9.60 is the cost of that pick 5 wager.
And I was going to chime in, but we'll see if first if Conley. Does Conley have a pick 5 ticket, Robert? Do we see?
He does, Kenny. I can go over his ticket real quick, too. There's Conley's ticket. So no singles for Conley. 3, 4, 5, and 7 here in the opening leg. He's going with a 2 and 5 in race 7. He's added Southlight Hanover last week to his ticket. Race 8, the 4 and 5. So he's got number of an Hitler and Lion King. 5 in race 9, going a different direction than yours truly there. And then 3, 5, and 7, the money leg, $19.20 for a 20-cent ticket for Conley.
Conley is chasing that pick 5, $19.20. And while we have just a moment, it's the Stanley Cup final this evening getting underway in just about a minute or two. Give me your score. What's your prediction for this evening? Your pick in terms of the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, nothing better than a game 7, especially when it's for all of it, right? They're playing for everything tonight. Many didn't think we were going to be here when the series started 3-zip. It's been incredible since then. I'm going Oilers 3-2. 3-2. It's going to be a much closer game tonight. I think it's going to be a little bit tighter. And
well, the pick is in, so you're going Oilers 3-2. You know, we did not talk off camera at all about this. I just told you I needed a pick. And I had 4-2 with the Oilers scoring an empty net goal, so I think we're looking at the same kind of the game. I think the key will be Edmonton needs to come out and not just take it right to them quickly, not let Florida have any idea that they got a shot to kind of stem the tide from 3 straight losses, and take it right to them.
Yeah, it's true. You got to kind of just keep your foot on the gas pedal and I guess their hands on the jugular, right, where it's been the last 3 games. Now, does McDavid win the Conn Smythe, win or lose?
I think he wins it either way now. I mean, it was looking like goalie Bob until he's kind of gone a little soft the last few games now.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a winner either way. But cheering for the Oilers and again betting on them too. So let's hope they come out on top.
Statistically, usually the handicappers want to go with the home team in a game 7. It has a pretty high record. I think it's 12-5 in the last in 17 times where there's been a game 5. And the home team has won 12 of them, but the last couple went to the road team, so that's interesting.
Yeah, the momentum, though, in this series, I think, kind of puts everything off the charts, right? I do think we're going to see a better game from the Panthers tonight, though.
I do have to wonder also, I think Florida just might be a little too tired. That's a tough way to play the way they play. They expend a lot of energy. Well, you have 3-2, and I'm on the 4-2 bandwagon, so we'll see. But nonetheless, the field for race number 6 is entering the track for the post parade. Field 4, race number 6 on the track for the post parade. And number 1 is worth repeating. Austin, sorry for Duncan Gillis. Number 2 is Century Kiss Me. Colin Kelly for Ben Wallace and Wallace Standardbreds and Terry Crowick. And at number 3, Catch Some Sun. Travis Henry for Bob McIntosh and Al McIntosh. Number 4, Century Kalimba. Mark McDonnell for Jody Cullen and John Collings. Number 5 is Big Nipper. Brent McDonough for Mike Horner and Doug Wilson and Mark Horner. And number 6, Perfect Juno. Scott Calder for Ken Skinner and Bernard Murphy. And number 7, Lady Hamish. Sammy Fillion for Stephen Doyle and Christine Doyle. Field of 7. Race number 6. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, we've had a few differences of opinion through the evening, but not in this race. We both see it, Big Nipper and the fans see it that way as well. 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 right now. Yeah, I thought we'd see the tote board actually tilted heavier in the direction of the 5 Big Nipper and the 7 Lady Hamish, and right now they are 1-2 in the betting. But Big Nipper last time, had to do a lot of work before getting to the lead, and then just got picked up by one that we've already see come back and be victorious tonight. So I thought that the logical choice in here, trailing post now to the winningest post here, which is obviously something that you want to get behind, and no worse than second in each of her last 3. So 2-1, I think, is a fair price on Big Nipper, and with an effort like last time, I think she likely ends up in the winner's circle. But I do think that Lady Hamish is one that merits respect as well.
And the thing with Lady Hamish, I wanted to use this one on top because look at that last race. Parked every step of the way and still managed to close into being a third. But it's just that Lady Hamish is basically a closer, and in this field of 7, and I'm not sure there's enough gate speed to give her enough of a tempo to run at.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the problem with her for me too, right? Is that Lady Hamish is if she drew inside, I'd say she'd be a part of it in the early going, because she's got that outermost post in the contest. I just don't know what her trip's going to look like in here, right? So overland a long way last time after getting away, towards the back of the bus, and she was able to work her way into the show spot. Well, I'm not sure what it looks like tonight, but I think she's got to get forwardly placed to have a chance.
Catch Some Sun for me is an interesting one because has been off since the 4th of May. But the qualifier, if you look at the back half of the qualifier here, suggests that maybe she's ready to go.
Yeah, I think that you're looking at a couple horses on the inside of the gate that have upset potential. Obviously, you just be a mild upset with one like the 3 Catch Some Sun. The qualifier to me is appealing, right? It's over the surface, 57-1, 57 and one on the back half as well. So you look at a couple of efforts anyways before she went back on the bench were decent enough and good enough that she could be competitive against this group. So I think she's likely going to play a role in the early stages, and she can stick around for a big chunk of it.
And then we want to get to number 2, Century Kiss Me, one that is sent up by Ben Wallace, long-time proven trainer, Colin Kelly driving. This is one that you saw in London in April, first half of London, back-to-back wins. Things haven't gone well since, though, for Century Kiss Me.
Yeah, those wins were good ones, and that's kind of why when I was looking at her, when I was looking at this card, Gary, I said, maybe she's the upsetter in this field, because not too far away, right, from this group when she got those 2 wins, and her 2 start most recently are in the Prospect Series, which can be a mixed bag, but she actually faced like tougher groups in the Prospect Series. So this is a substantial drop down in competition for her. So 9-1, you can convince me she's worth the poke on top.
And the one that I actually used for third here, Century Kalimba, I thought raced really well in the early going last race. It kind of tailed off. 55-2 though. Jody Cullen.
Yeah, you can never ignore Jody Cullen, but this is one that I thought's been just not finishing the way I'd like to see her do so. I mean, she just went as a favorite two back last time forwardly placed, faded back to fifth. I think smaller share at best in here, but she's 5 to.
Well, it is a field of 7 for race number 6 taking up their positions, and it is worth repeating. And Century Kiss Me on the inside. In the center, Catch Some Sun, Century Kalimba, and Big Nipper to the outside, Perfect Juno, and Lady Hamish. Field of 7, the 6th dash on a magnificent Monday here at the river. And the field for race number 6. Fillies and mares in the backstretch, nearing the start. And they're at the start of the rough, and Big Nipper's going to leave early. Worth repeating on the inside. And then Century Kalimba is third away. Century Kiss Me. Then to the outside, Lady Hamish. Now Lady Hamish is taken over fourth, and Century Kiss Me is fifth. Then it is Catch Some Sun, and Perfect Juno is back trailing the field. Big Nipper, even money on the board, was able to grab the early lead. And worth repeating in Austin Sorry is in the pocket on the back of Big Nipper and Brent McDonald. Then third is Century Kalimba and Mark McDonnell. And racing fourth is Lady Hamish and Sammy Filia. Then up and driving to the outside, Catch Some Sun. Century Kiss Me is on the inside, and Perfect Juno's trailing the field. Big Nipper, Brent McDonald with the lead off that quarter at 27-2. Rolls on past us on top. Worth repeating is second. Century Kalimba is going to come first over, and Lady Hamish is racing second over fourth. Then to the outside, that is Catch Some Sun on the pylon. Century Kiss Me is about 5 or 6 off the lead, and Perfect Juno is still trailing the field. Big Nipper, half of 57-1, a 29-4 second pedal breather, and is working against Century Kalimba on the outside, who's moved up to about 3/4 of a length from the lead, and now a half length from the front. Worth repeating is on the inside third. Lady Hamish is within striking distance, second over fourth. Catch Some Sun is fifth. Century Kiss Me drops back. Perfect Juno to the outside. Big Nipper continues on, rolling towards 3/4. Worth repeating on the inside, shoving second with Century Kalimba. 3 wide, Lady Hamish, and 4 deep. Catch Some Sun is coming on. Catch Some Sun has a lot of lake pace as the field turns for home. It is Big Nipper now coming out. Is Worth repeating. Big Nipper, Worth repeating, and Catch Some Sun on down the stretch where they come. Big Nipper, Catch Some Sun on the outside is closing, but Big Nipper is not going to be nipped at the finish. And then it was Worth repeating and Catch Some Sun, and it looked like Century Kalimba over Lady Hamish. 156 flat. Big Nipper. Well, Big Nipper, even money on the board, Rob, and looked really good.
Yeah, big time pace advantage too in there by going to the engine. And we thought we'd see that, right? Last time out, trailing post gets away fourth and tried to make a move to the lead, and it just was a sustained first over bid before getting there. This time around, it takes matters into her own hands and wins on the engine. Didn't have to worry worry about one like McWicked move, getting up to Challenger late, and it was a strong winner. 56 flat, nice mile.
Yeah, and then we saw closing hard Catch Some Sun. One of the differences earlier in the evening, in fact, in that first race, we had a closer come from off the pace, Pink G, but made the move earlier and got up on even terms at the top of the stretch, did Pink G, and then drive on, whereas Catch Some Sun still had a lot of work to do to catch Big Nipper, but one to keep an eye on for next time out.
Yeah, and had much quicker fractions to run at, right? 27-2, 29-4 second quarter. That's going to kind of take away the big closing efforts, anyways, right? So that's why I said pace advantage for Big Nipper, but a well-deserved victory, no question about it. And the one that kind of sat right on her helmet throughout, Worth repeating, I thought raced pretty good. I thought the head lane maybe was going to issue more of a challenge, and did well to hang on for second at 21-1 to add some serious value to the exotics.
Well, the equipment change with Worth repeating, blinkers to blind throttle, may have woken that one up, because that was certainly a race. Now, it won't be 21-1 next time out.
No, it won't be at all. No, exactly. One that's likely take more support, especially with another good draw, and showing that that tactical speed can certainly be used to her favor. Catch some Suns, one to put on the watch list, like you said, came from out of it, and one that's worth looking at next time is Cedric Limb. I thought raced better this time out.
Back in front of us is the winner of race number 6. It's 5. Big Nipper, 3-year-old All Bets Off Black Filly, owned by Doug Wilson and Mark Horner. Mike Horner is the trainer. The winning drive to Smilin' Brett McDonald. It's the second win this year in lifetime for Big Nipper. 156 flat. Sixth race payouts 5 Big Nipper 410 260 250 1 worth repeating 1087.30 3 Catch from Sun 340 $2 Exactor 39.50 dollar Tribe 92.50 dollar Super $247.90. The sixth race order finish from the top. 2634175. That's 2634175.
Just 4 minutes away from race 7 here at Grand River Raceway, and it's time for the late pick four. Getting started right here in the seventh dash of the evening. Low takeout 15%. There's a ticket I've mapped out. Another economical ticket at $4.80. I've got the 1 and 5 here. The one better deal I think is, one that's worth a look as a value player. Rail Control. First start, Ashley Lenvoy getting Lasix again after not being able to use it last time at Hanover. Brett McDonald aboard. Just lots of things maybe going in that one's direction to maybe see that one kind of turn it around in here after being over 17 this season. But you have to have the 5 Italia seal string your ticket because so good last time at Mohawk Park, winning by a head in that pop-up series. 52 and 4. Too deep for me, 1 and 5. Just the 4 in race number 8. That's Marvin Hagler. Just thinking getting back down to the level he was a winner at 2 back is going to be what the doctor ordered to get him back to the winner's circle. So he'll likely go off at a short price in there. And again, a nice competitive looking field, but I think he gets the better of that group in the end. Race 9, the 5, 6, and 7. Thrilling Times is one that I think raced really well last time out at this level. 5th ideal perception in that track record performance. And by all right, should have a big chance tonight. But using the 6 and 7 in there, and 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the finale, Peel Oliver gets into a better spot from the winningest post here. But I do like Captain Butler, Pebble Beach Pro, and Better Be Flying to be on the ticket as well. $4.80 for a 20-cent ticket. We'll look at Conley's ticket. I know in his pick 5, you didn't have any singles in the sequence. Let's see if he's got any in here, or he's going to map it out the same way for Conley and his late pick 4 ticket. Again, starting in just a couple of minutes here in race 7. That low takeout, 15%. There it is there, 2-5. So he's added the 2 soundbite Hanover off that victory last time. Nice front end score for that one, taking support of the 2-1 right now. Race 8, the 4 and 5. So using Marvin Hagler, but also using the Lion King Oz, who was good last time in a much softer spot, but that win might be all he needs to get his confidence back. 2-5 in race number 9 is using Thrilling Times, also the 2 Serious Dragon, who's making that transition from Mohawk Park to the river, and then 3, 5, and 7 in the finale. So using PL Oliver and a couple others in there, including the 3 Woodmere Fen and the 7 Better Be Flying. $4.80, the cost of his 20-cent ticket for this late pick 4 sequence. We got a minute or so to map out your winning wagers for the late pick 4 starting here in race number 7. Low takeout 15%. Gary and I will come back in just a few minutes, take a closer look at race number 7.
Field for the seventh race, entering the track for the post parade. A field of seven, the scratch of number 8, Little Chi, and on parade one, Better Deal. Brent McDonough for Ashley Lenvoy, and the owner is Gino Toscani. Number 2, Soundbite ahead of her, Travis Henry for Tyler Schlotman and Kevin Skilton. And number 3, Million Angels, Jason Ryan drives and trains and owns. Number 4, Miss Mac, Austin Sorry for Joe Pereira and James Barry. Number 5, Italia Silster, Jay Harris for Brett Lester and Michelle Letard. Number 6, Cove Beach, Todd Ratchford for Chris Hill. And number 7, Double T GRR, Anthony Hahn for Sheila Lewis and Peggy Finnegan. Field of 7, the 8 is scratch. Let's look at this field. And, well, Rob, your value play of the night, Better Deal, is still holding as a better deal at 8-1 than the fans' choice, Italia Sealster. First start, Ashley Lenvoy.
Yeah, I love the how lively she looks in the track as well right now. It looks pretty fired up out there, which you want to see because to me, she's a horse, Gary, that when she blasts out of there and tries to chop it out or sit a two-hole trip, that's when she's at her best. And I think that's got to be the game plan tonight. Like you said, first start, Ashley Lenvoy, that's a big part of it. You also get Brett McDonald on the bike. And this is a horse that's kind of bounced around between the winners over, winners under $8,000 claiming ranks, and has been bet down to favoritism, has been competitive. So it's not like we're trying to reinvent the wheel here. This horse has shown ability, and now has, I think, a reason with a bit of a change of scenery to maybe take a big step forward. So 7-1, happy with that price too. I thought we see this horse get support down to like 4 or 5-1. So anything in that neighborhood or more, I'd be happy with.
Well, my Goomba, I'm on number 5, Italia Sealster, and I'm with all the rest of the fans, 4-5.
Yeah, and I mean, I figured that she's going to take all the support in here, and a lot of people were kind of surprised I went against her as a top selection. You see her effort; she's done nothing wrong as of late. I mean, she's hit the board with frequency. She's done good things for Brett Lester, including come out on top in that pop-up series last time out, 52-4 mile. Getting the better of Del Diggity, who was a horse that's won all kinds of starts in the $8,000 claiming ranks. It's just that we're gonna get infatuated with that 52-4 time at Mohawk Park, which obviously can translate here to a quick mile as well. But one like Better Deal's been racing at Hanover, Flamborough, London. It's not going to look as appealing on paper, right? So that's why I go in the direction of a value play. But I respect the fact that Italia Sealster, the one to beat in here, and deserving of that odds-on status.
Number 2, Soundbite Hanover, is one that I kind of knocked for being a little bit wind shy. Well, last race, you can't knock that effort.
No, not at all. So, the thing is, too, it wasn't like it was like, chopping out, soft fractions, right? 26-3, 55-2. Yeah, she came 130-3, but she had a reason to. I mean, she had gone some really big fractions early on. I thought raced tremendous in victory. I just think this one's come up a little bit tough now with Italia Sealster, and then, one that I think is worth a play as, when you're getting value on that's worth a try, I'd say, right, with Better Deal. But take nothing away from Soundbite Hanover. She can be in the mix throughout and be right there at the wire.
And Million Angels was only beaten 3 lengths last race, and you also see form at London back April and, the early part of May. So Million Angels maybe is what, look, Jason Ryan's barn's been rolling.
Yeah, he's been rolling as a trainer and a driver, right? So anything Jason Ryan right now, we can certainly use in the exotics at worst. 14-1 a Million Angels to me is an overlay as well. I think just because there's others that are taking support that are worthy of it. But yeah, Million Angels, no problem at all using this one underneath in the try and super, can spice things up in those spots.
And number 4, Miss Mac, won in this Class 2 race as a go. Last race made a break, so are we sitting on the sidelines watching a start?
I think so. Yeah. Also, the start that she won. I mean, she was kind of tired at the wire. I thought last time out, I thought she was one that was probably good to play against. And then tonight, off that break, now I'd watch just to see what she's going to do for next time.
I threw her in on the bottom for fourth. We'll see if she can muster that much. But first order of business needs a flat line. Better deals, soundbite Hanover on the inside with in the center, Million Angels, Miss Mac at Italia Sealster. Then to the outside, Cove Beach, Double T, GRR. It's a field of seven. It's the seventh race on a Monday night. They're turning towards the backstretch and the start. Field of seven, race number 7. And they're at the start. And they're off and getting out alertly, leaving well on the outside as they charge towards that turn, moving quickly. We see down on the inside, Soundbite Hanover, center of the track, Miss Mac, and on the outside, that is right now, Italia Sealster, Miss Mac, and Soundbite Hanover third. Then Better Deals racing fourth, and Million Angels is fifth. Then Cove Beach, and trailing the field is Double T Gur, and it is Million Angels and Jason Ryan, who was able to come on and grab the lead. Ms. Mack is second. Soundbite Hanover is third and is only 3 off the lead in front of Better Deal, who's mid-back fourth. Then a gap of a couple, and it is back to Million Angels. Cove Beach, Double Tiger is trailing the field 26-2. That was a sharp opening quarter for this class, and they worked their way on up towards the half, and right now it is Italia Sealster, the 2-5 favorite who's got the front. There goes Soundbite Hanover, though. Wants to make some noise on the outside first over. Miss Mac inside racing third. Better Deal is well spotted second over. And Better's position by 1 now is up to third. Miss Mac's racing fourth. Then Million Angels in Cove Beach and Double T Gur. And it is Italia Sealster now being tested by Soundbite Hanover. Those two stride together. Italia Sealster on the inside. And Soundbite Hanover on the outside paired up. And Better Deal is right in behind those two, and has dropped down to the inside to save some ground on the turn. 3/4, 125. Then fourth, Million Angels kicking it late as Cove Beach. Miss Mac is dropping back. The field turns for home. Italia Sealster trying to hold off the sturdy effort on the outside by Soundbite Hanover. And Better Deal is looking for the passing lane and looking to pounce. On down the stretch where they come. Better Deal up the inside. Better Deal is getting closer and is going to roll on by and win it. Soundbite Hanover second, Italia Sealster third, and Cove Beach fourth, 155-3. Better Deal. Rob, I could see that coming for quite a while.
Yeah, I could too, Gary. It's a good feeling. I mean, I'm sure in the broadcast room they saw me getting pretty excited there, and love what Brett McDonald did. 2 things that he did there. The first was that he bailed out leaving. He was trying to leave 100 off the gate. And like we said, if horses the outside of you leave when you got the pole position, watch out, because you're not going to be able to withstand them if they got a lot of speed on you. So he bailed out, took a hold, and then got perfectly spotted second over, was able to drop back to the inside and keep this horse brave throughout the mile. Great steer, Brett McDonald. Thank you. 8-1, monster price as well. I mean, I pegged this one as a value player. Didn't dream we would get 8-1.
That's the absolute when you call a value play and you get 8-1. So kudos for that. And Soundbite Hanover gets kudos for hanging tough, because battled really hard in that race to try to wear down Italia Sealster and did get the better of that one eventually.
Yeah, Soundbite Hanover raced fantastic. And they were all stacked up early, right? I mean, Soundbite was on the inside of that and then had to kind of relent to let Miss Mac and Italia Sealster go. Then went on the attack. And listen, when you go first over on a horse like that through that kind of a trip and you come out ahead of them, I mean, you certainly did good things, especially when that horse is 2-5 on the odds board. So Soundbite Hanover came right back with a monstrous effort. I mean, she got beat by a horse that I thought was well meant tonight, but also got a huge trip advantage.
Yeah, and also you got to give Brett credit on that final turn where he says, "Why don't I drop down to the inside, save some ground, and trust that I can get it up the passing lane?"
Yeah, absolutely. That was the winning move, and she looked great on the track before the race. And like I said, I thought us talking about her might knock her down a few more points, but hopefully some people out there were able to catch a ticket or two.
Well, they weren't believers, but the ones that were believers, you helped them out rather nicely with a good deal, a better deal. 1, 2, 5, 6 back in front of us. Better Deal, the 5-year-old Better's Delight Brown Mare by Gino Toscani. Ashley Lenvoy, the trainer. Brett McDonald with the winning drive. It's the first win this year and the sixth lifetime for Better Deal. Mile of 155 and 3. That is a better and best new career mark. The seventh race payouts, one better deal. 1810, $6, 382. Soundbite Hanover, 350, 230. 5 Italia Silster, 240. $2 exactor, 77.10. Dollar try, 71.10. Dollar super, 238.85. Seventh race, order of finish from the top. 125 6347 scratch. That's 125 6347 scratch.
To write stories or poems or draw pictures of horses? We're running 2 contests from now until August 31st with a total prize money of $3,500. For the Youth Literary Derby, Ontario students in grades 3 to 8 can submit either a short story or a poem with standardbred theme. Poems and stories are judged separately. If you like to draw, then the Youth Art Derby might be for you. This one is open to students in grades 3 to 12. And you can do a drawing or a sketch of anything standardbred related. Check out our website for more inspiration and more information, bgracingalliance.ca.
Field 4, race number 8 is on parade. One classy guy, Brian DeRoche for Jeff Graham, and the owner is Kerry Howard. Number 2, Insanity, Jason Ryan for Ben Hollingsworth and Michael Goldberg. Number 3, Spun from Magic, Scotty Goldberg, Cassidy Schneider, and the owner is Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 4, Marvin Hagler, Brett McDonough for Mark McQuarrie and Mary Pedden. 5 is Lion King, Colin Keller for Boyd Wilson and On the Go Stable. Number 6, Global News, Garrett Rooney for Angela Carroll. Number 7, Willie or Won't He, Austin Shore for Kyle Bossens and Phil McGuire. And the bride is Monteverde, Natasha Day for Kerry Howard, Field of 8, race number 8. Well, let's get right to it. And Marvin Hagler is the one that we both have gone to here. Well, raced in the preferred 2 last race and wasn't bad in that spot, Robert.
Raced poorly at all in there, Gary. And the thing is that you get away 7th off the gate, 56-1, 56-2. Obviously, that second quarter breather is going to make it tough for him to get into contention, but he still ended up finishing a decent 4th in a race that was won by Timel Riggs. And now you get back down to the spot. He was a winner in 2 starts ago, and he was a good first over victor on that occasion. And right now, he usually shows it before the race when he's going to do it in the race, and he looks pretty sharp out there. Looks really nice in the track right now for Brett McDonald and Mark McQuarrie.
And certainly getting the love at 6-5. But the question here is Insanity. Could Insanity be to Marvin Hagler Sugar Ray Leonard? Because Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler. Maybe Insanity can do the same.
Yeah, I mean, he's a horse that I think's in with a chance because he's got that snap speed off the gate. He's a horse he's the quickest trotter in this field off the switch. There's no doubt about that. And the thing is that for me, 2 post 7s. Now he gets the inside draw. Now we know that might not be something that's going to be all that advantageous to ones like him over this new surface. But I think he's going to be plugged in for a trip no matter what. And I've seen him do very good things when he either chops it out or sits a 2-hole. So little, camera shy in the win end of it, 2 for 18 of the season, but not so in the top 3, 10 top 3 finishes. I like Insanity at worst underneath in here, and you can convince me he's worth a play even on top at 9-1.
One of the strange things so far this meet is Post 2 has not done as well. Posts 1, 3, 4, and 5 are the top 4 posts, and 2 has not been doing well. But oftentimes I think that's because if the horse to the inside leaves, Insanity, like post position 2, kind of maybe gets stuck. It's not into the middle of the gate. It's down on the inside. It just doesn't work out for Post 2. But in this case, I think Insanity makes the front, so it's different.
Yeah, I think it is. I think if you've got that snap speed like we talk about with Insanity, then it's a different ball game, right? I think it's a little bit tougher, when your horse has got just enough speed to kind of get you in trouble off the gate, whereas this one is one that kind of can fly off the gate. So I think that Insanity is going to be plugged in for a good trip tonight, and he'll likely be in the mix throughout.
Now, if horses could talk, the Lion King's probably saying, "Hey, buddy, I crushed the field last race. Yeah, I'm moving up in class, but did you see how good I was?"
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he should be saying that because it was a strong effort, and he was in need of that one of those heart building wins, and he got it. This is a big step up. He's skipping over a class on his way up to the top condition class. Faced much softer last time. Chapter 12 came back to race well, but this is like a whole different kettle of fish he's facing tonight. Now he's proven he can go with these and then some in the past. I just thought that it might be a little more than he can take on this time out. But you never want to discount a horse off a win, and it was a good one last time.
I want you to tell me about both horses on the outside, Willie or Won't He and Monteverde.
Yeah, it's tough for me to separate those two in here. Now, Willie or Won't He, the thing that kind of, I guess, I'm mad at myself for not picking him higher is I said last time he's looking to get better with each start because he, looks like he's carrying a lot of weight. 11 years old, monstrous effort last time, and he's proven he can take on the best trotters around these parts in the past. Monteverde, getting back on that regular rotation is going to really help his chances, and he's a versatile type too, early speed and also can race from out of it. So both those horses you have to have in your exotics.
Well, it is a field of 8 for race 8. Classy Guy Insanity spun for Magic on the inside. In the center, Marvin Hagler and the Lion King Austin. To the outside, Global News, Willie Armoti and Monteverde. It's a field of 8. It's race number 8 on a Monday night at the river, and it is post time. Field for race number 8 is at the start and the rough, and Willie Armoti is flashing speed with the Lion King. Insanity spun for a Magic. Classic Guy, Marvin Hagler. Then it is Monteverde and Global News, but the Lion King has got the lead. Willie Armoti is going to press on towards the front, and Insanity is racing third right now. Classy Guy is fourth away. Then it is back to Spun for Magic as the field spins off the turn, and then further back is Marvin Hagler. Then it is Monteverde, and Global News is trailing the field. Willie Armoti, well, he did make the lead. Willie Armoti leads on past us off a quarter of 27 seconds, but it is the Lion King who wants to come right back around and reclaim the lead, and is going to clear back to the front in front of Willie Armoti. Then racing third is Insanity, who's being followed by Classy Guy. Spun for Magic is racing fifth. Marvin Hagler has a lot of punching to do, is third from last, and then Monteverde up the inside, and Global News is trailing the field. It is right now the Lion King with a front. Colin Kelly looks over his right shoulder to survey the field, and if he looks now, he'll see Insanity coming on the outside, but Insanity still has to make up a length and 3/4, and Willie Armoti is third. Classy Guy is fourth. Monteverde is fifth. Now from the backfield, Marvin Hagler is starting to punch heavily, and Marvin Hagler is out there 3 wide and is working. They went by the half in 56 and 3, and they rolled their way to 3/4, 126, and it is the Lion King. Insanity is getting a little closer. Marvin Hagler has punched his way up to third, and then racing for this Classy Guy, Willie Armoti, and then Spun for Magic. It is Insanity now, who's grabbing the lead from the Lion King, with now coming Marvin Hagler. Insanity's got the late lead. Insanity, and driving on the outside, Marvin Hagler on the inside, the Lion King. Insanity, crazy, wins it. Then second was the Lion King. Then Marvin Hagler, and Global News won 55 and 4. Well, Rob, if you like the 2 at 8-1, you definitely weren't insane. Insanity.
Yeah, just wishing I used that one on the multi-leg wagers, Gary. Marvin Hagler just kind of left with too much to do tonight. And the thing is that I kind of said, Insanity, the value on him was tremendous because of his versatility, and he did, get forwardly placed, and then ends up, and I thought it was going to be a tough spot for him, to be perfectly honest. I said, oh, this is going to be a tough trip now, but he comes around from the first over spot and was really, really good tonight. I mean, he raced tremendous. He gets past the Lion King, stops the clock in 55 and 4. You know who aboard, Jason Ryan, and a nice victory too for Ben Hollingsworth, who we've seen do good things this meet so far at the river.
Yeah, Insanity just kind of set up well because Marvin Hagler, as you mentioned, just had to come too far back. We see that in the Preferred 2 class, was a little too far back, but in this class 2 races ago, was much closer to the pace.
Yeah, he was, and that obviously was the advantage for him, right? He got away third off the gate, came first over, and got the victory. This time around, kind of got a little bit further out of it, a little bit of traffic trouble too on the backside, and wasn't able to really make his presence felt till it was too late. But Insanity was full marks, for the effort. I mean, he really was. He made multiple moves in that mile, and I thought raced very, very well in victory. I mean, he's had a lot of starts like that where he has to settle for second or third. This time around, he said, no, I want to get my picture taken. Third victory in 19 tries this year.
The logical 3 were 2-5-4, but we get Global News at 30-1 in the bottom, Rob.
Yeah, Global News. That's a mare that I'm very fond of as well. So I'm hoping to see more of her here at the River. I was a big fan of her at Western Fair.
And back in front of us is number 2, Insanity. 6-year-old muscle mass bay gelding. Owned by Michael Goldberg. Trained by Ben Hollingsworth. Jason Ryan, the winning drive. It's the third win this year for Insanity and the 18th win lifetime. Eighth race payouts to Insanity. $1,866.225. The Lion King Oz, $490, $210. For Marvin Hagler, $210. $2 exactor, $69.70. Dollar try, $54.60. Dollar super, $500, $16.20. Eighth race, order finish from the top. 615-32487. That's 615-32487. Field for the ninth race on the track for the post parade. It is a field of seven, purses $7,200. Horses and geldings on the pace, and one is Beach Tour. Austin Sorry for Mike Horner and RAW Equine and Mark Horner. Number 2 is Sirius Dragon. It is Jason Ryan for Harry Polton and the stable. Number 3, Mr. Cheeseman, Anthony Hahn for Scott McNiven and Bradley Douglas. And 4 is Reactor Now, Brett McDonough for Richard Moreau and Bradley Grant. 5 is Thrilling Times, Travis Henry for Richard Moreau and the owner Sergio Plord and Karen Kroger. Number 6, Doc's Philly Cheese, Garrett Rooney for Brittany Kennedy and Money Clip Racing. And number 7, It Takes Two, Lauren House for Scott McNiven and Kimberly McNiven and Bradley Douglas. Field of 7, Rob, a very interesting dash, and well, we have a different look. Your top 2 are 5-7 and mine are 2-4, so we're thinking different ways. But look, 5 Thrilling Times is one that 2 races ago, very good in victory. Last race, tough post.
Yeah, I thought last race actually raced really well, and that's why I'm coming back to this one, Gary, because 2 starts ago, strong victory. I thought raced tremendous to get the job done as the favorite. Last time out, difficult post 8, and against that real deep group, Ideal Perception, Boston Bound, Sportsline, and this one was kind of weaving through traffic late to finish 5th, only beat 3 lengths, back half 55 flat. So I thought the Thrilling Times race really well last time out, and now you get away from those horses. Yes, you do have to face a really deep group here in the top condition class, but I think he looks fantastic on the track right now, and I'm more than happy to have him on top, especially at odds of 5-1.
Number 7, It Takes Two, is also 5-1, and that race 2 races ago, second to Woodmere Roland Pop, looks even better now.
Oh, it definitely does, because we see that one come right back and prove it was no fluke. And I thought that the effort that time around was a good one. And then last time he was in a similar situation as Thrilling Times, right? They came into the same race. He got away 7th. Overland made a wide move, and he was within 3 lengths of the winner, Ideal Perception, as well. So, he's going to need some luck here. Obviously, he's got post 7. He's likely going to have to, work off cover tonight, but he's got a nose for the wire, and I think 7-1's an overlay on him. Like, I do think that this field, top to bottom, the margin between the best horse and the worst horse is not very much. And I wouldn't want to be on the side of the ones that are taking a lot of support, only because, again, I think it's that contentious of a race.
And then number 6, Doc's Philly Cheese, 14-1. Look, this is one, if you look further down the page, you only have to start going to about 3 races back. In the preferred at London, well, second to Ideal Perception.
And it was bet down to 5-1, right? And the Bulldog Hanover, preferred on May 31st. So definitely was one that was highly regarded in there. And like you said, you see a lot of those, top 2 finishes against those types. He's got 7 on the board finishes this season. The only thing, obviously, that's a concern is the fact that hasn't raced in more than 3 weeks and likely, needs a bit of a tightener. But this is a field where, you might see a horse trip out if there's a lot of action in the early stages. So Doc's Philly Cheese at 15-1, that's a big price, no doubt about it, and one that I was happy to include in multi-leg wagers.
Number 4, Reactor Now. I almost used this one on top, but I used for second. Winner April the 6th in 51-1 for Richard Moreau. Since then, though, hasn't made the top 3.
Yeah, he's just fallen off form. Like, I've had this horse on top in the Horse Players Journal with frequency as of late. As he's dropped down the class ladder, I thought that last time out he was going to rebound with a big winning victory. He got to the lead and he stopped on the engine. Not the horse that he's shown he could be in the past. So, coming here, the plan is obviously get that heart building win. But I couldn't really see it happening in this spot. I mean, he doesn't hook really a soft field. He hooks probably a field that's, maybe only slightly softer than the one he faced last time. So he's 7-2 on the board. And I was actually surprised when he was taking all that support earlier. I just think he's a horse that needs that confidence boost. I'm not sure he gets it here.
Number 2, Serious Dragon, is the one that I went to on top. But, maybe I'm getting a little cute, but I think Serious Dragon, now, really good last year. This is just the 5th start of the year.
Yeah, and he's of course too making that transition from Mohawk Park and was facing tougher last time. Tough to really gauge much off his latest effort. A good second at Woodmere Roll and Pop two back. I mean, that's a good form reference. And I mean, 4-1's not the worst price in the world. The one Beach Tour right now co-favoritism with Thrilling Times at 5-2, coming into it off that quick mile at Mohawk Park, but was sixth at Woodmere Roll and Pop. 2 starts ago, and there was horses in this race that actually beat him in that effort. So again, this is a really contentious field, top to bottom, Gary.
Well, your top one is 5 Thrilling Times, 5-2, and I've got 2 Serious Dragon at 4-1. Beach Tour, Serious Dragon on the inside. In the center, Mr. Cheeseman, Reactor Now, and Thrilling Times. Into the outside, Ducks, Philly Cheese, and It Takes Two. Field of 7. The 9th race. Field 4, race number 9. He is gathering speed, nearing the start. And the field for the 9th race has reached the start of the rough, and Reactor Now is going to leave with It Takes Two. Beach Tour, Serious Dragon is 4th away. Then Mr. Cheeseman, Thrilling Times, and Doc's Philly Cheese is back trailing the field. Reactor Now is trying to come on and clear to the front of her Beach Tour. Reactor Now, Beach Tour, racing 3rd, It Takes Two. Serious Dragon 4th, Mr. Cheeseman, Thrilling Times, and Doc's Philly Cheese is trailing this field of 7. It's Reactor Now. 2-1 on the board has the lead, and Beach Tour is right there in the pocket as they tour their way off the turn, rolling on up to us in 26-3 opening quarter. It Takes Two is on the inside, racing position 3rd. Serious Dragon 4th, and then it is Mr. Cheeseman, and back further to Thrilling Times, and Doc's Philly Cheese is trailing the field off that 26-3 opening quarter. They work their way up towards the half. Reactor Now has the front right now for Brett McDonald. Beach Tour is enjoying the view in the top in the pocket. It Takes Two is racing 3rd. Serious Dragon is still on the inside, and Thrilling Times is 5th, but has work to do. Is about 7 off the lead. Then Doc's Philly Cheese and Mr. Cheeseman, but Reactor Now is strong as they race their way on up to 3/4 off that lively half of 55-4. It Takes Two now has been taken to the outside and is getting a little closer. Is chipping away. Beach Tour on the inside 3rd. Now Thrilling Times has moved up and is well situated 2nd over. Serious Dragon to the inside. Doc's Philly Cheese and Mr. Cheeseman. 3/4, 1:23-3. Reactor Now. It Takes Two is right there within striking distance, and Beach Tour looks to fly up the passing lane as they come on down the stretch rod. Beach Tour up the inside. Center of the track. Reactor Now and Beach Tour. Reactor Now held on. Beach Tour 2nd. Then it was It Takes Two and Thrilling Times. Reactor Now 152-2. Reactor Now 2-1 on the board. Got the job done, Rob, and looks sharp.
Yeah, we talk about horses needing those heart-building wins, and that's what he needed, right? And he comes here, goes to the engine, sets a pretty decent tempo throughout, and was able to fend off his rivals in the stretch. I thought It Takes Two had a big chance in there, and he put forth a big effort. He tried to leave out of there, ends up in the 3-hole, comes first over. I thought maybe he'd get the measure of this horse. He wasn't able to get past him, but Reactor Now, again, that's something that's going to do wonders for him. He's a horse that does have a lot of ability and showing some tremendous speed, and probably just needed that win to kind of get back on the beam.
Yeah, and dropping down in class, you wondered when would it kick in, because if you look further down the page, he was all the way up to the Preferred 2 class May the 4th at Mohawk.
Yeah, he was. No, I mean, this is a horse that kind of had like a kind of a steady plummet down the class ladder, right? Ever since then, he had that win in non-winners of 8,100. It was 51-1, dominant victory, and then since then, he was kind of just lost it, right? Like he moved right up to the preferred and then kind of worked his way down to numbers of 4,000 last 5 and couldn't convert as a favorite in there. But he comes to Grand River, and I thought he'd go off as the favorite, and he didn't. He goes off at 2-1. Again, a horse that was in need of that confidence boost, and he gets it.
And he put up solid fractions also, so it's not like he stole it. Beach Tour, though, used post 1 and got a nice trip and was pretty alive.
Yeah, he was. He was a good effort to be second, no doubt about it. I think that the horse that you got to really give some kudos to is It Takes Two, right? That was he tried to leave out of there, had to kind of duck into the 3 hole, then came first up, and at one point looked like he might get past the winner, and was a close third anyways at 14-1. So he's one to watch for next time.
On the board, it's a 4-1-7-5. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race 9. It's number 4, Reactor Now. And Reactor Now is a 9-year-old Auckland Reactor Bay gelding. Brett McDonald with the driving hat trick. The trainer is Richard Moreau. The owner is Bradley Graham. It's the 3rd win this year, 21st lifetime. Reactor Now. And Brett McDonald victorious in 152-2. Ninth race payouts for Reactor Now, $630, $390, and $290. Beach Tour, $3, $247. It Takes Two, $510. $2 Exactor, $14. Dollar Try, $31.90. Dollar Super, $67. Ninth race, order of finish from the top, 2671453. That is 2671453 on the bottom. Field for race number 10 is on post parade. One is Harry G. It is Brent McDonald driving for Duncan Gillis, and the owner is Christina Saftik. Number 2 is Control the Gold. Anthony Hahn drives for Jessica Hayter, who trains and partners in ownership with Ed Hayter. Number 3 is Woodmere Fen, Scotty Gulliver, Scott West. Number 5 is P.L. Oliver, Colin Kelly from Matt Dupuis. There is 6 Pebble Beach Pro, Lauren House for Scott McNiven and Kimberly and Brad McNiven and Tom Broadhurst. Number 7 is Better Be Flyin', Travis Henry for Dale Fritz and Randy Hyatt, William Wyatt, and Robin Ferrier. And note that number 4 is hiding on the track. But it's Captain Butler for Todd Ratchford and Mary Ratchford, and the owner is Nick Liadis. Field of 7, race number 10. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, first up, let's start with number 5, P.L. Oliver, the one we both have tabbed as the one to beat here. And P.L. Oliver, it's been a while since a win, but still, look at the year. 9 out of 18 in the top 2. I think fits nicely here.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp in the track too, Gary. And a horse that you said, right, he fits nicely in this group. He finally gets that little bit of class relief that's what he usually needs in order to get back to the winner's circle. And it's not like he's been racing poorly against those tougher horses. It just the trips haven't worked out for him. I mean, he's not a horse that I ever really think of. He's going to win when he gets an overland journey, but he is very dangerous when he's on the lead or he's in the 2 hole. And I think that's got to be the game plan tonight for P.L. Oliver. I thought he'd be the favorite on here. He's right now the favorite at 2-1. I think come post time, he might even be lower than that.
Number 7, Better Be Flying, moves up a level, but he was flying last race. But that was post 1 and this post position 7, mile of 53. But I tell you, that was really impressive.
It was, and you know what? He looks fantastic on the track too. That was his second start back after a layoff, and the first start was one you could kind of just cross off the page because he had post 8 at Georgia and got away eighth off the gate, and now off that victory, he's more than ready, I think, to step back up a notch in the class ladder. So he's dangerous in here. And I think he's the value right now at 9-2 on the board. Not sure the trip scenario is going to look like, but he's proven he can win from a plethora of different journeys in his career.
Captain Butler is maybe not getting quite as much love as you might at first glance think because, well, last 2 races, both in his class, a win and a second. A classy Hunter Hill last him out, but both of our third choice, 9-2.
Yeah, 9-2, I think, is about the fair price on Captain Butler. I think that pound for pound, he's got to face probably a bit of a more difficult field this time around. He did lose by more than 4 lengths to Hunter Hill. That one had to go to the preferred ranks tonight. But the win before that was a good one. I mean, he's kind of a horse I think is kind of built better for the 5/8 mile surface than he is for the bigger track at Mohawk Park. And I think he'll make his presence felt at some point in the mile. On the ticket for me, bottom end try and super. He's got a chance with the right kind of journey, though.
Number 6, Pebble Beach Pro, is one that, kind of wind shy, but loves to hit the ticket. Look at how many seconds and thirds in the past 2 seasons. Pebble Beach Pro belongs somewhere on the ticket.
Yeah, I think so. I was at Dresden for that last race, trailing post. Never easy at any half-mile track or 5/8 track or any surface for that matter. Got away 5th off the gate, was on cover. You can see the fractions of that race, though. What chance you really going to have at them in that one in the late stages? Home in 28 seconds flat. I thought he raced well to be 3rd. And 10-1, that's a big-time value play for me in this spot. If you like him, certainly you're not going to get a better price on than that usually. So Pebble Beach Pro, I think, is one that you can certainly use on the ticket, and he's the best value on the win end right now.
Number 3, Woodmere Fen. If you go back to the middle of May at Flamborough in that non-winner 65,000 life, second to You're the One, who's a very good one, and now is well down in class and yet not getting a lot of love. 5-1, but boy, look at he made 100,000 last year.
I think he's just disappointed as the favorite in 4 of his last 5, right? So I think he, by all rights, should be more than competitive with this group, but he's just not been able to capitalize on opportunities recently, and I think that's why the betting public's holding it against him tonight.
Well, and Florida just scored to go up 2-1 over Edmonton as they're late in the second period. It's Harry G. Control the Gold and Woodmere Fen on the inside. Captain Butler and P.L. Oliver in the center. To the outside, Pebble Beach Pro. Better Be Flying. Scratched his B Stony. So it's a field of 7. Race number 10. And the field for the 10th race is at the start of the rough, and P.L. Oliver is going to flash early speed. Woodmere Fen comes out well. Harry G on the inside. Better Be Flying is racing fourth. Then Control the Gold and Kaplan Butler, and Pebble Beach Pro is back trailing the field, and it is Harry G with that inside advantage taking the lead. Woodmere Fen still challenging, but now is going to take back and find the pocket. In front of P.L. Oliver, who's third now. Then Better Be Flying and Control the Gold, and then the trailing pair are Captain Butler and Pebble Beach Pro. Harry G and Brett McDonald. Brett's already got 3 wins on the evening, and Harry G at 15-1 as Brett looks for a fourth, and now moving on the outside is P.L. Oliver and Colin Kelly quickly up and challenging now. Woodmere Fen, and racing fourth is Better Be Flying, who angles out now and is on the back of P.L. Oliver, who's advancing. Now is taken over second off that 26-4 opening quarter. They roll past the half in 55-4. And it is Harry G. P.L. Oliver, 3-5 favorite, chipping away about a neck from the front. And then Woodmere Fen is on the inside and racing on the outside. Better Be Flying is only about 2.5 or 3 off the lead. And then it is back to Control the Gold and Pebble Beach Pro. And Captain Butler has to pass them all to win as they race their way on to 3/4. Harry G is hanging tough on the lead. P.L. Oliver's got to work, and that lead is a length right now. Woodmere Fen's been getting a trip on the inside. Better Be Flying is going to roll 3 wide. Control the Gold is 4 wide and is coming. And then Pebble Beach Pro and Captain Butler, the field turns for home. Harry G. P.L. Oliver. Control the Gold way out wide on down the stretch where they come. Harry G. Out wide. Control the Gold up the inside. Woodmere Fen. Harry G. Woodmere Fen. Harry G. holds off Woodmere Fen. Third. Control the Gold and close for fourth. 153-2. Race number 10. 4 for Brett on the evening, Rob.
Yeah, Brett McDonald, the hot hand, no doubt about it tonight. And you know what? He gave some serious steers, throughout the evening to give horses chances, and he gave Harry G every chance, Gary. A horse that obviously I didn't have anywhere, but you know what? He got rail control. He's done good things in the engine before. I think Brett just said, you know what? Why not give him a whirl on the blower tonight? He did that. He put everyone behind him. Didn't matter who came forward, what price they were. He said, no, take a seat. And this horse went legit fractions throughout and fended them off with that invisible shield to the wire in 53-2. Big time score there. And you know what? There's someone out there that's going to be really happy with that result. Looks like a pool shot in the pick 5 wager, $4,063.34. So congrats whoever got that ticket.
Yeah, P.L. Oliver and Woodmere Fen also left and had thoughts of getting the lead off of Harry G. And Brett McDonald said, yeah, whatever thought you got, take a seat.
Yeah, no, yeah, he was. It was a determined victory. Sometimes you see a horse at that price. You'd be more than happy to release one, maybe a favorite to the front, or a horse that's got a reasonable chance. But no, he had a game plan, and it worked. And you know what? Oddly enough, Gary, we got pool shots in the pick 4 and the pick 5. It looks like on Harry G. So 15-1 on the odds board, but paying monster prices in those multi-leg wagers.
Well, you also get Control the Gold, 23-1, who actually raced well, and I thought maybe even towards the top of the stretch might have a shot to track down both Harry G. and Woodmere Fen.
Yeah, this will be an interesting high five, right? Because you get PL Oliver pushed all the way down to third at 3 to 5. You just mentioned control the goal. Sorry, fourth at 3 to 5. Control the goal third at 23 to 1. And Pelwish Pro getting on the bottom end of it too. There's some serious prices there, but hey, star of the card definitely Brett McDonald.
Well, somebody's going to be very happy. Along with a very happy Brett McDonald, it's Harry G, a 7-year-old. Roll with it, Harry. Big Gelding, Christina Saptagones, Duncan Gillis, the trainer, Brett McDonald. 4 on the evening for Smilin' Brett. It's the third win this year. 25 lifetime for Harry G at 15 to 1 in 153 M2. That's a new career mark for Harry G. The 10th race payouts, 1 Harry G, 32.40, 12.30, 7.50. 3 Woodmere Fen, 6.10, 6.42, Control the Gold, 11.80. The Exactor, 1 and 3, $166. Dollar Drive, 524.10. Double of 4 and 1, 182.30. We had a 20-cent pick 4, 3,460.09. A 20-cent pick 5 of 4,063.34. A 20-cent high 5. Well, we'll get to that in a minute because I got to tell you, 20-cent pick 3 also pays $656.60. And one more to get to is that 20-cent high 5, 1,462.78. Kaboom! Shakalaka. The 10th race order finish from the top is 1, 3, 2, 7, 4, 5, 6. That's 1, 3, 2, 7, 4, 5, 6 on the bottom. Well, fans, that concludes harness racing for this Monday evening here at Grand River Raceway. Action resumes on Wednesday. Our first race will go to post at 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, Casey.